one of her other interns from around the world on Project Arizona. It's a long story, but he's from Venezuela and got issues too. They want to put him in jail. So he's going to be in. He's working with her, trying to help her out. So that'll be an interesting story. Patrick Wood from Technocracy.news in the second hour. Next Saturday at the Arizona Breakfast Club, Patrick Wood and I are doing a joint presentation on smart cities here in Arizona. It is Arizona State University, which is NQ-telled all to hell. You know, this is definitely a they them those project where they got industry, Intel, Google, that kind of crap, and they have all the policymakers and leaders, politicians, and then academia. They got a whole wing or whatever now. And it's almost as bad as saying global warming. I mean, it is amazing what they're doing. We're going to get a plug for back of our heads. Woohoo, So we're going to talk about that, a lot of laws that's going on. Now, just in the light of all that, it's just like, can we just chill? Can we just chill? We're not even going to get all 501c3'd, and we're not going to get all certified and have boards and stuff and everything. Can we just do like the jackalope thing and first weekend in August here in Arizona? We just go. It's just a bunch of anarchists camping out in the forest of whatever, and hilarity ensues. Well, what happens is now there's a week before Porcupine Freedom Festival. That's great. People there, great. Love Porcupine Freedom Festival. Go. And I never have any plans to go, and I always wind up going anyway. Because I go. Well, now for the last couple of years, there's been a Fork Fest or Somalia Fest or Pirate Fest or whatever you wind up calling it because it's not organized. It's the week before. Everybody goes there, just kind of hangs and does their own thing and don't need a permission slip. Well, we wanted to, I'm not sure. The board's got it in their mind, So we have Fork Fest. Well, I'm looking forward to that this year. This is going to be fun. And, we're going to be doing some sponsoring and having some fun, doing whatever. But we got Ian Freeman, the owner of LRN.FM and main doobie, him and Mark Edge doing Free Talk Live on a couple of hundred radio stations around. And he's coming on to tell us all about his involvement, some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. And he had to do his, a lot of people wanted to do Fork Fest just so they could hang with Ian because he's not allowed to go to Pork Fest. And now Twitch is banned on, LRN. Isn't Twitch freaking Amazon, Ian?
It is, actually. Amazon bought Twitch a few years back, I think.
That is, and then I'm not surprised. So this is, let's talk about Fork Fest and Pork Fest. And I tell you, one of the guys, a good friend of ours in the show, Jay Noon. Jay Noon, I want to hang with my friend Ian, and you're just stupid. You're just being stupid. Well, tell us about the banning, the history that's going, and it's kind of a motivation for a lot of people. I guess you popular, and gosh darn it, people like you, So Fork Fest is kind of built around not just your experience, but just the kind of overall vibe. Explain it to the audience, will you please?
Well, I was told by the Free State Project after having been, their main promoter for basically most of their existence here on Free Talk Live and, helping them gain however many members they gain from the promotions that we gave them. Once they reached their goal of 20,000 participants, they, within a few weeks, had kicked me and Free Talk Live to the curb. And it was over my libertarian views on age of consent, which apparently makes some people uncomfortable. My viewpoint is that people should be able to make choices and, face whatever consequences for those choices. And I guess some parents really don't like that. Plus, I had a teenage girlfriend at the time. So, they just made me out to be some sort of bad guy or whatever and said, we don't want you around anymore. Basically, even though apparently it was only a 1-year ban. They didn't tell anybody that. Roger Paxton, who was on the board of the directors of the Free State Project afterwards, he wasn't there when this decision was made, but got on the board afterwards, and he looked into, I guess, their minutes, right? Like board meetings for these organizations have to have public minutes. And so he looked into the minutes and he found that the ban was actually only a year-long ban. So technically, Ernie, I'm actually not banned from the Porcupine Freedom Festival. It's just that everybody thinks so because the Free State Project didn't announce publicly that it was a 1-year ban. I have been told by Matt Phillips, who's a current board member, that he said that I would be allowed to be at PorcFest. I just can't be invited to be at PorcFest, if that makes any sense. So I'm not prohibited, but I'm also not invited.
Fork Fest. You know, the controversy, let's talk about this age of consent thing. This is a libertarian. All right, God, we got to do this in 2 minutes.
You
all
brought
right.
it up.
All right, let me see what I can do here. Mary Ruwart is a well-known libertarian, ran for the presidential nomination. She's been on the LNC board. She has a book called Healing Our World and so on. And the point that she makes in there that other libertarians that want to like take her out or, beat her in an election or something like that is to take and say, well, she's for pedophilia. Well, the point that she makes is that whenever you make something illegal, you create an artificial bump in the market. It's like drugs or prostitution or anything. Whenever you do this kind of law, well, then you make criminals out of everybody, and it gets a profit margin in it, and it creates more of it. Pornography, child pornography, whatever it is, may be the evidence of a crime, but it's not the crime itself. So possession in libertarian philosophy, possession of anything is not a crime. I can hold it. It's my property. I got it. I didn't take it from anybody and steal it or whatever. It's mine. Bite me. That's not the crime. Now, videotape, it may be evidence of a crime, but that's where law enforcement stops. They just want to, we got this one copy of a gazillion of something. And I'm going, hey, there's somebody being abused there. There's some little kid, being exploited. There's some molesting. Go get them. We don't care. We already got the tape. And this is my experience over years of how this has worked. They don't really want to go after them. That is what's happening now with all this, pedophilia gate or whatever is going on in Washington and so on. Well, what happened, there was an FBI sting that we'll talk about that Free Talk Live, Ian and Mark, hammered on. The FBI didn't like it none too much, showing them for doing a honeypot sting on some child pornography sites that they were putting out. So they went after him, and it started this cycle. We're going to talk about it because it affected us. We're on LRN. We'll be right back.
From the first letter of Dr. Idris Barber, I've healed many landlubbers, but could have healed countless more if they were willing to break the law to preserve themselves. The Crown required that I obey leeching privateers who didn't share my oath to do no harm. I was forbidden from discussing the treatments I knew patients needed. The Crown claims to protect landlubbers from bankrupting medical expenses, but only seduces them into begging for relief, while privateers monopolize the management of chronic illness. This royal alliance has constructed a medical hegemony that denies science, discredits alternative remedies, and mandates unwanted treatments, while callously ignoring the victims dying on waiting lists. They have produced a society increasingly addicted, impoverished, diseased, and suicidal. My conscientious objections and medical ambitions required not only seeing this cage, but leaving it. That's why I raised my black banner. Among pirates, the Crown's tantrums are irrelevant. You own your body without qualification. Open ocean medicine enables healers and customers to build a relationship of mutual consent. Prices decrease, quality increases, and physicians become as accessible as barbers. Customers determine their own medical care, whether that's experimental treatments, prohibited plants, controversial procedures, bootleg pharmaceuticals, or even the right to die. Any system of command and control is rejected. In time, artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, genetic engineering, and cybernetic prosthetics could take the human condition beyond our imagination. Medical augmentation could eliminate aging, enhance intelligence, and erase our fundamental physical limitations. With the Crown in our wake and the individual at the helm, we are free to pursue an unfettered life. Need decentralized solutions to centralized problems? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
We have some good news.
Yeah, did you ever get sent or get... Yeah, you got copies of letters. Did you ever get one of the books that we Amazon print?
Yeah. You gave me one at Anarchapulco.
Yeah, that might have been one of the more recent ones. It was... we're getting a lot... Yeah, there's so much stuff going on, Ian. All right. So when we come back, I want to finish that and do, what did they call it? Operation Snow White, Cinderella, something. What the hell was it part of?
Who called what?
The FBI thing when they were doing their.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what
whatever.
the operation was.
All right. So I'm going to. Did you ever get any of your stuff back?
Initially, we requested back my video camera that they had stolen, and they did actually give that back because they were able to acknowledge that it didn't have any storage capacity. It was an SD camera, so there's no storage in there. So they did give that back on request, and that was like within the first few months. Since then, we've heard nothing.
Well, did you request anything? What did they take?
50 plus devices, hard drives, flash drives, basically anything that could have something stored on it.
They get anything?
No, I mean, nobody's been charged with anything. I mean, I presume that means there was nothing there.
Yeah, this is the same stuff that's happening with a lot of people doing a lot of stuff. This is, the law enforcement arm of, and that's why it has to be hailing frequencies invisible to the crown. I'm just like, we're getting really into that. And the site, there's so much stuff. We'll have time to talk when we're up there, or maybe we'll get to it later in the show, but I want to focus on finishing this story up and getting Fork Fest done.
Okay.
8 seconds. Yeah, thanks for saying show, because I'm like, I'm looking at a different clock up here. It was off.
Just doing my job.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
No roads! We don't need no stinking roads. Okay, what we're doing is that we're showing some pictures of Purdy Ian up there and some other, Forkfest logos and so on. So this is, as I remember it, what happened. You hear ouch, quit it, ouch, quit it, ouch, quit it, ouch, quit it, and all of a sudden I get in my email some child pornography from God knows where. And it was, and I go, what the heck? And it was, you need to look at that. It was like doxing you. They were just sending stuff out to all the advertisers on Free Talk Live and LRN, and because we had advertising on there for Freedom's Phoenix, I got it. And do you really want to be associated with these people, kind of thing? And I'm going, whoa. Hey, get that out of my brain. Whoa, delete. What the hell is going on? This is what happened. There was a child pornography site on the internet somewhere towards something. And the FBI came in and took it over and was serving it up to people as a honeypot to get emails or track something because they got ones and zeros. Now, of course, my first thought is, I go, God, there's facial recognition, there's people there, there's kids, adults. I mean, you track anybody going after, you're going to save the children? No, we got to go see who's got ones and zeros. I'm just, it's just so infuriating to me. Well, what happened is they were running this site, and Free Talk Live found out about it, and they were going, hey, man, you got the FBI running a child pornography site. Seriously? The fact that they brought that up, they didn't like it none too much. And all of a sudden, they're going into the studios and they're raiding, taking dozens of devices and everything, and took and kind of they're bad. Well, the community supported them and they had some extra computer and this, that, but all of a sudden, money, and within 24 hours a day, I think they were up the next day, So it continued, and you guys can suck it. Well, then the fact that Ian had a girlfriend that was under 18, and it was, that became part. See, he's a bad. Well, then it gets into age of consent and all this kind of stuff. Well, the reason we brought up Mary Ruart is her point on all these different laws that you have and these restrictions create a black market industry of bad, and you get more of it. That was the only point that she was making whenever you do that. Ian was making a philosophical argument, is that what time is age of consent. Now, this is a big deal in libertarian circles, especially in the 90s when I go to libertarian conventions. It was the loudest screaming, jumping up and down. Oh my God, I am a person too. I need age of consent. And I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? I go over and talk to the people, and it came down to this. The planks and platform in the Libertarian Party, well, it used to be. I mean, I don't know what the hell it is now, but used to be was that you had, 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds that were in a custody battle with their parents, for custody in their divorces. Or there was molestation. You would have, a young girl or boy being abused, and they want to get away, and they have a judge that's going, yeah, we're just going to put you with grandpa and grandma. He goes, hell, where do you think my dad learned it? So it was, they wanted to have the power to own they wanted emancipation for themselves. They wanted to be able to make decisions. They wanted to be, hey, I got this loving neighbor over here. I got this teacher. I got an aunt. Let me decide where I want to live. I know what the internal structure is and who the pedophiles are in this family. God dang it, man. Get the hell out of my way. Judge, you guys suck. Okay? So that was the reason that they wanted to have the power of a teenager to be able to make their own decisions because the state couldn't do it better. And that was the big argument. So all the motivation, a lot of these people being libertarian and so amped up about age of consent is because the age of consent didn't work for them in their life. They knew it, and they're freaked out about it. And they wanted to have somewhere to express themselves that a child in my position in the future, forever and always, if they're 13, 12, I don't know what the age is. But if they're confident enough and convinced that, man, don't be putting me in this big brother just points and I got to go live with that scumbag over there. So that's why it's such a big deal for a lot of libertarians, and it's so understood at a fundamental principled level. But then you got the fudding, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Here comes the FBI. So tell us about what you had uncovered and said and the time frames and the FBI coming after you. And let's do that real quick because I want to talk about a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wanted to talk about Forkfest for sure. But the FBI, it was in the news, Ernie. I mean, we didn't uncover anything. It was a news story about the FBI taking over a child pornography website on the darknet and then operating it for a couple of weeks. I think it was in early 2015. It was in the news because they were already making arrests. They were arresting people for this. They put some sort of malware on the site that infected over 1,000 computers of users to this site. It was a very, very large site that the FBI operated for 2 to 3 weeks straight and collected information on these users and then proceeded to conduct raids. And they, have charged a number of people. In fact, Reason Magazine just wrote an article that I had in show prep for last night, but we didn't get to it on Free Talk Live. So maybe we'll do it tonight. But about how the FBI has been dropping charges on the people that they actually found child pornography. Again, they raided our studios. They didn't find anything from what we can tell. It was 3 years ago and nobody's been charged with anything. But the people who they actually did find child porn on their computers, they brought charges against them. And then one of them went and said to the FBI, all right, well, let's see your discovery. We're going to court. You got to give us discovery. And that's where the government that's charging you has to provide you with the evidence against you. And part of them providing you with evidence against you is providing the chain of custody and sort of how that evidence was collected. And, so in the case of malware, if you want discovery on a case where the FBI's put malware on your computer, they have to give you the source code. They have to show, tell you about this product. What was this thing that they put on these people's machines? And the FBI basically said, well, no, we don't want to give you this information about the malware. They went in front of a judge in a closed chamber kind of hearing with the judge, and they explained why they thought they should not be forced to hand over this information. And the judge says, well, this is discovery. You either have to hand over the information or you have to drop the charges. And so the FBI dropped the charges, and apparently they've done it on more than one occasion now. So basically they don't want to reveal their dirty little secret of how their malware works, because then, the internet could defend against.
Yeah, but I mean, the reason they came after you, you're out in this making fun of the FBI for being child pornographer, server uppers, and all this kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, boom, I remember it hit the net, and text message, everybody's freaking out. And all of a sudden, they went into your studios and just raided you, took all your stuff because they could, and they said that you had somebody access your router that did whatever, and you're going, yeah, show me what, and they didn't do anything. It was just a intimidation.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like I said, they came in here and they took a bunch of stuff. I mean, I wasn't intimidated by it. I'm glad they didn't shoot my dog. I thank them for that while they were here.
Thank you for not shooting my dog.
Yeah.
All right, so that's and that is about the time all this was going on. So the Free State Project and Pork Fest, we just assumed because we're now respectable and 20,000, we're getting rid of all the controversy and the ne'er-do-wells. Well, how did it go since then? I don't know. We'll see. But a lot of good friends and stuff are going to Pork Fest. Pork Fest, too.
Looking for a great real estate investment?
All right, then we'll come right back into that, and then we'll deal with Fork Fest. So that just kind of gives some background to know how Fork Fest kind of came about. So have they been, nice to you? They're saying, after Fork Fest, you could just kind of stay and you could buy a ticket or no?
Well, yeah, I guess I would have to buy a ticket if I wanted to attend Pork Fest, although I might be able to finagle one if I really wanted to, because I know some people who have them. But I was told that if I had a ticket that I would be allowed to attend Pork Fest, but I wouldn't be invited to attend Pork Fest.
Yeah, whatever.
So
they're not going to kick you out, but well, he's there. I go, who wants to beat him and his friends up?
Hide your kids.
Yeah, whatever. So this is what we're going to do is Davi's going to be going, and he's going to be working with or helping somebody or something. Anyway, he's going to be there.
I saw him join the Fork Fest chat group.
Yeah, I asked him to get on Telegram and do that because I needed his help over on Declare. We have a thing there, and for the Fork Fest, because I really want to promote Jay Noon's Man Camp.
That's a cool idea.
And so we're going to try and see if we can get some artwork done. I may go do some T-shirts, and we got some printing. So that's all this weekend planning of what we're going to do. There's another opportunity, another thing. I had a Zoom meeting with Doug Casey yesterday afternoon, and they're relaunching International Man, which was the title of his first book, I think. And Casey Research went to Porter Stansberry, I think. It's run a something newsletter farm out of Miami or whatever. But he is starting International Man, him and Joel Bowman that we had on the show. And they're looking to promote to the Liberty community and the databases. Well, I wouldn't give him the database, but we do some joint thing we're working on now. So if he's all about, getting exposure and get sent the list and we got this newsletter and the end is nigh for the economy and you need to have this information. And Doug Casey definitely's got good information. They're all about getting rich with Doug Casey. And but if you want, I would think that he would benefit from working with you guys, but he wants to do, I don't know if he want your database. He wants your database. Everybody wants your database, But if you can get some kind of a relationship or affiliate thing or cut of or revenue, whatever, are you willing to work with Doug Casey to get his newsletter out to the peoples?
What does he need exactly? He needs
He wants database, is what he wants, email, but I'm not doing that. But the thing is that then it would be.
I'm not going to hand over an email list to somebody, but if he wants to do advertising with us, I mean, we're happy to promote him to
it's that, but it's, the promotion of to your people, or you send out your emails or you're an affiliate or something. I'm going to let you know. We're working on it right now, and I know you're kind of the same mindset as I. So whatever package we come up with, I'm going to try and replicate it throughout the Liberty community so we're all protected. Because Tim Pachote was on the thing with us. He's working with them. So I wanted to make sure Tim, the Liberty advisor, and he has crypto in his retirement.
Yeah, I love Tim.
Accounts.
Good guy. If you want to talk to Mark about some sort of sales thing, he can.
I think Mark would probably be the guy to talk to them. But we're going to get the package set up, and I think it's going to be something that's acceptable to you guys, and then we'll do it because I think it's a good service to the community.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock. To be a part of the show, call 602-264-2800.
Ian Freeman, Free Talk Live, hundreds with an S at the end, hundreds of radio stations around the country. So you can, I'm sorry?
Almost. We're at 195.
Well, get on it. You you need 5 more, and I can say hundreds. Damn it! This is. I'm really glad that it's there. A lot of people, man, if it wasn't for Free Talk Live, I wouldn't know what the hell's going on. And then LRN, Liberty Radio Network. Tell us about that real quick. We'll get the Fork Fest here, but LRN, what is that to you?
Liberty Radio Network, I founded in 2009, so I guess it's been a decade now. And the whole point was, hey, there's all these other great Liberty shows like your show, Ernie, that deserve to be heard, and let's put them all together in the same place. One streaming network that can feature not only live shows like yours and mine, but also podcasts. We've got a few dozen, I think, probably a few dozen of podcasts that are featured on the network. Some of them are about Liberty, some of them are about crypto, some of them are funny. So just basically the one overarching, thread that goes through the different shows is that all the hosts are pretty libertarian. And so it features them, it gives them a little bit more exposure. And then in 2010, we put LRN up on a satellite over North America. In 2012, we added a satellite over Sub-Saharan Africa. And so we have fairly well distributed. I mean, as far as Liberty radio networks go, there have always been a few of them on the internet, but this one's probably the most well distributed of all of them. That's not saying much, but it's there.
No, it's I tell you, it's interesting. The number of people I don't think Mark appreciates as much. I know you're big on the satellite. And I was doing a country tour. I go through Idaho Falls, Idaho, middle of the freaking nothing. Hub on my trailer. We were going to Pork Fest with the vending machine, years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And when we were doing that, Hub went out. And I was doing every morning. We'd stop at Starbucks or something, get Wi-Fi, and we'd do the radio show because I have a Comrex thing like you. So I'm going. We're doing a radio show, and we went up to see Chuck Baldwin up in Kalispell, Montana, and then we went all the way across northern part. We went to Pork Fest, and we went down to Texas and hung out with the guys in Austin. Then we went to Spaceport, and Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, and covered that. It was 4th of July, and then we come back. It's 5 weeks. While we're going up there, the Hub goes out. I'm at I have a highway patrolman stood there for an hour with a flashlight at night. We're yakking as I'm working on whatever to get it to an O'Malley's or a Checker or whatever it was. So I go to Idaho Falls, a few miles back. We make it there, get in. I got to change the Hub. So as we're doing that, I'm on the air, and in the breaks, I'm doing little pieces, and all of a sudden, some guy, that's a regular listener on the satellite, came there right when I had to pack the bearings. Last segment, he did it for me, and I'm like, cool, get your butt on. Wow. So I have him on. We're talking as a listener, and what he had done is he takes our shows, he puts a edit down to a 90-minute cassette tape, and he passes them out to his neighbors.
Cassette tapes. That's amazing.
Well, he was a senior citizen, and they all got into this freedom of. I'm going, how the hell did you know? Well, satellite. And I'm going, multiply that times a couple, man, you got some people. So when I go up to the Four Corners area here in the Southwest, different events and so on, a lot of people go, "Ooh, we're going to go visit Ernie," like I was a Ian Freeman, Mark Ed celeb or something, right? So I'm going, wow, how do you guys know about this up here? What radio satellite? So there's a lot more, and I remember this feeling from the 90s when it was ham radio or shortwave shows. A lot of the guys, in the freedom community would be on before the internet got broadband. And so that's what we're going back retro and some pirate radio stuff, and we're working on a bunch of stuff here. We'll go over it later. But the Porcupine Freedom Festival I remember the reason we did the jackalope, that we're going into the 8th year on that. The jackal, Jackalope Freedom Festival. It's just out in the forest and there's no nothing. I mean, you want to talk unorganized? I'll show you camp spot. It's called like the woods. I mean, you know. So the of course Alma Summers keep trying to organize it a little bit, but I'm like, nope. Well, when Porcupine Freedom Festival, they had in the VIP tent one year, Donna and I were there, and they announced they wanted to go 501c3, and they're going to this, and I go, and we're done. Whenever you have an organization that's created around a movement or a cause, sooner or later the organization becomes more important than the reason you created it. Every time. And I saw that happening, which is why we did Jackfest. Well, the thing is that, and we called it Pork West for a while, and Porcupine freaked out. And we go,
didn't Curtis threaten a lawsuit or something at one point?
You know, I'm almost like, you know, if I really hated you, I'd make you. I mean, you know, go, stupid. But it was just and we called it the Scorpiopine Freedom Festival. It was like a porcupine with a scorpion tail, and it's like with Fork Fest. It was Pirate Fest, Smalia Fest, this fest. Doesn't matter. You call it whatever you want, and whoever got the most T-shirts. I mean, you know, that's what it's going to be called. So the thing is that who came up with Fork Fest anyway?
Daryl Perry.
You know, that was awesome. Yeah, I miss Daryl. You know, I didn't know what the hell went there. I forgot to ask you about it and whatever.
He's a married man now.
You know, is he really?
Yeah.
Good for you. All right, Daryl.
He seems very happy. He seems very happy.
Very cool, and he deserves it too. I mean, you know,
he's a hardworking man.
I'll try and say hey to Daryl. Hey, Daryl.
But yeah, I think it was Stephen and Derek who originally came up with the Somalia Fest name, and that was, you know, if you want to, it's hard to really figure who came up with this thing. It seems like it might have been Stephen and Derek who kind of got the spark going for this whole alternative
well, people
festival.
were coming kind of early anyway. You know, a lot of times you had, you know, it kept getting earlier and earlier and earlier and earlier. It starts, you know, Thursday or Wednesday and goes through the weekend.
Well, I think what happened was in 2016, after the drama of them kicking out Free Talk Live from the Free State Project events, because it wasn't just a ban of Ian Freeman, it was also a ban of Free Talk Live. There was Derek and Steven started this Somalia Fest camp zone that happened at Pork Fest. So like there was a special area for people who were still planning, you know, they'd sort of planned to attend Pork Fest, but they didn't want to like cancel their plane tickets or whatever. They wanted to go anyway, but sort of protest the banning and protest the ridiculous behavior on the part of the board of directors. So they had their own little camp zone. And I think that's what kind of spawned into like, well, we don't want to be here because some of the people didn't want to come back the next year, and they're like, well, we still want to come to Rogers, we still want to come hang out with libertarians at this cool campground, this beautiful location, so why don't we just do our own thing? And I think that's where it came from.
Yeah, no, that's kind of how I felt. It just, and it had a lot of support. So, we'll do it the next year. And then we brought, you know, the big dome, the pirate dome, and all that stuff. And
yeah, that was awesome.
You know, had fun. I don't know. It's at Derek's now. He might bring it down. I don't know. That's like work.
He's going to be doing something. He and Steven are throwing parties every night during Fork Fest this year. So there's going to be way more to do. And Ernie, I don't know if you heard this. Big news came out on Tuesday on Free Talk Live. The Big Gay Dance Party.
Yeah,
which used to be the event to attend at Pork Fest for 6 years straight. They stopped. The last year of the Big Gay Dance Party was in 2015, so the year before things went really bad. And they were talking about bringing it back. They had it planned. It was on the Pork Fest schedule, and it has now been moved from Pork Fest to Fork Fest. So Fork Fest is going to have the Big Gay Dance Party, the return of the Big Gay Dance Party, the final night of Fork
now, what
Fest.
was the woman that did that?
Buzz.
I'm sorry?
Buzz is big. It was Buzz.
Yeah, Buzz. Buzz, she is a just wonderful woman that was heavy in the home restoration.
She's a carpenter.
Yeah, she's a carpenter. She's a, you know, handy woman, whatever. And she got skills. Well, she would spend the whole week out there constructing a bunch of different, you know, like the pole dancing platforms or, you know, whatever she was doing. She'd be working. And that's what she wanted to do. And she didn't even really want, I need no help, you know, get out of my way. So it was awesome, a big giant tent, and it was just one night. It was just, hey, we're all partying and going in and kind of take shifts going in and out, and Donna's out and Jordan's out talking and bring somebody down from too much mushrooms or something. And, you know, this guy's over there and they're over, and we're going in and out and having fun, dancing and partying and so on. It's just big gay dance party because it'd just be kind of cool. Well, some people didn't like it, I guess. I didn't see, I wouldn't call it wholesome, but it wasn't threatening. Everybody had a good time, and it's just, that's the kind of thing. We just go over to Fork Fest. So a lot of the best parts you remember were at Fork Fest.
From the second letter of Captain Mark. Any pirate knows that commerce is communication. Markets condense oceans of information into a single price. Innovations in communication are circumventing the scrutiny of the crown. This signals a change in the coin of the realm. The crown uses digital currency to surveil, censor, seize, and destroy wealth at will, so pirate currency must protect us from this weaponized money. We need to move funds further, faster, cheaper, and without third-party observation, basing decisions on an accelerating flow of information. So pirates require nearly instantaneous transactions with no arbitrary limits on volume or artificial influences on fees. Most importantly, a pirate currency must preclude centralization. Otherwise, it will become another link in our chain to the crown. A superior currency will result in the obsolescence of the coin of the realm and the extinction of the crown itself. Trade above the grid. Join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
So you've signed the Shire Society.
Yeah, I haven't even made plans for everything's this weekend. There's so much stuff going on, and this is what my problem is. My brother-in-law is getting married on Saturday and the reception on Sunday, and it's in Norfolk, Virginia, and then I got to get up there. So I'm not, at the best,
Perfect.
I'm going to
We're
be
on
there
the air in
Monday.
Norfolk.
I'm sorry?
Our show is on in Norfolk. When is this weekend or?
No. The weekend of Fork Fest.
Oh, okay.
So I can't be there that weekend. I'm not going to get there till Monday.
Bummer.
Which kind of sucks. But I wanted to make sure. But I'm not going to miss the big day gay dance party, and then we have a bunch of other stuff going on. So I'll start.
Jim Babb's throwing a party on that night too, so it's going to be Jim Babb's campsite, then the big gay dance party. So it's going to be one big night on Monday night.
Oh, he's going to do it on Monday too. Both of them.
His party. Bab has had a party on the last
day
of Fork Fest, every Fork Fest. So he's the only person who's thrown an event every single year at Fork Fest.
It's amazing. I've seen his beautiful daughters grow up from little kids and, just kind of grow into the young women that they are. And they've done all kinds of creative things and made money and 3D printed magnets and, had all kinds of stuff. It's just awesome, to see them grow in this community, and that's starts their summer, man. They go a summer of camping, and touring around somewhere, and and it begins at Pork Fest. And,
Must be nice.
Pork Fest, yeah, it is nice. We just had James on here a couple weeks ago.
Cool.
This is going to be a regular thing, or are they going to try and see? When I approached board members, and I got to do names, but her initials are Carla Garrick. When I talked to Carla about that, I said, I can see it's kind of getting a little stuffy over at Pork Fest. I'd like to help whatever you wind up calling it, Fork Fest over here, and help sponsor, do some stuff that we wanted to do, and so on. Oh no, they weren't too happy about it. Now I golf with Crosby, the owner of Rogers. Just about every year I go. He and I will go golfing, and we just hang and whatever, and have him on the show. When I'm there doing the show and so on, and get an update of how many clipboards visited him that year, and he's like, I don't give a crap what you guys do. You pay, peace out. All this stuff they say that it's not me, it's them. I don't care. So I'm going, yeah, that's not what they're sharing. It's like, well, we got restrictions. And I remember one year, National Public Radio came and they did that big thing. Well, I had to cash in my fiat for silver, and I should tell this story on air. Yeah, let's do that. We're coming right back. I want to tell this story.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Freedom is the answer. What's the question?
I want to break free.
You're listening to Ernest Hancock.
I want to break free.
Firearm.
I want to break free from
Covering the secrets and exposing the lies. Oh, that's what we do here. Free Talk Live. Oh, Ian Freeman, Mark Edman, they're all over it. Now, There was a story I was starting to tell. I wanted to tell on there. What was it, Ian? What was I talking about?
Crosby and you going golfing.
Well, the big thing is Crosby, the owner of the cat. He doesn't care. You guys do whatever you want to do. It's not my problem. And what happened was National Public Radio a few years ago, 5 years, whenever it was, they came, CNN's covered, they'd done all kinds of stuff. They get Derek Slopey's monolith, or, we had the monolith there before, and then he had the megalith. All the things for all the money. We had silver and ammunition and bullets and pregnancy tests and,
This was in a vending machine for, where you could pay Bitcoin to buy those things.
No, it was better than that. It had its own node. You could pay in Bitcoin, get your change in cash. You could pay in cash, get your change in Bitcoin. Right. It was awesome.
Crazy.
So it was, this was like, you want to show you what's up. So he has that, and then we had the money lift that we did that the guy, Drew and a lot of the guys, they put that together, and it was the first Bitcoin ever vended, came out of that kind of thing. Oh, wow. So what happened is that when we were there, the National Public Radio came in. It was the one year that they had competing bars. It was like Mardi Gras. We got to go over here, and then, we go down to this campsite. It was awesome. We had such a great time. Oh, the powers that be is you're not supposed to because you're not something. And they were blaming it on National Public Radio came, and they go, well, I had to turn in my green fiat money and get silver. Then I had to go pay silver for a beer being served to me, by a 7-year-old. Well, James Badd gets up and he goes, she did not sell you a beer. She sold you the doily. The beer was free.
It's still illegal.
Yeah, right. It's just whatever. So the thing is that, this kind of stuff, a lot more controls because the man thing, not because anybody complained. And what it was his homebrew that he had, and it's always down to the lowest common denominator. They just said because then I got a shiny badge. When the shiny badges show up, it's Ian that goes out with the video camera. Tell the people about that episode when you're the revenue man.
Oh, that was a different year, I think.
Yeah, I know. They all blend, man.
Yeah, the revenue agents from the state showed up, and I just happened to see because I was up in the studio where we had it back at that time, and I was sitting there watching as they rolled up. Came out with my video camera, and they were there to actually try to get sales tax from the vendors, the people that were selling food, because in New Hampshire, even though there's no sales tax on, if you go to Walmart and buy stuff, there's no sales tax, but there is a sales tax for prepared food at restaurants. And so they were trying to crack down on the vendors and go to intimidate them, because usually at PorkFest over the years, most people didn't get whatever permission slips that the government would tell them that they needed to do. So they had come there to try to intimidate people into getting a permission slip. And they made it to the first vendor before they were surrounded by a crowd of people who had come. We have two-way radios here in Keene, and a lot of people have them at their the campsites at PorkFest. So I radioed out that, hey, these guys were here and come on down. And, a crowd gathered, and basically we shouted them off the campground.
And I talked to Crosby about, how he knew the guy, what happened. And so he gave me the whole spiel. Bottom line is, just leave us alone, man. We're all good. Everybody wants to get their cut. They get a 3x5 card and go bug these people, Mm-hmm. So it's been ForkFest is going to be. It's going to be interesting to see how this is done, and you wonder if there's some little, somebody, a little birdie telling them, "Man, you need to go get those guys," kind of thing. There's always spot the Fed. There's always an undercover thing. So this has been interesting, and we've had our own ForkFest. Jackalope Freedom Festival stories and all this kind of stuff. When people are out being free, they just don't like it none too much, but. It is the safest place that I know to just let your kids run wild. It's a big, giant campground. It's really kid-friendly. People take care of them. They make sure they're okay. There are all these little kids. Entrepreneurs clean your site, walk your dog, take out your trash, give me some money. And they do classes on this stuff. I've seen businesses go there, dog walking businesses from little kids that by the time they're in junior high, they got an army in Cincinnati or whatever doing the same thing. So it's amazing, the atmosphere of yes, you can. It's a real yes, you can.
Yeah, and you don't have to ask permission, and there's no central authority. There's no board of directors. ForkFest The only reason I'm on here talking to you about it is because you asked me to. I'm not the organizer. There's no organizer here, you know.
Yeah, no, there's just people that do, I do things, So this is
Well, right, and that was part of the problem with why some people were frustrated with the Porcupine Freedom Festival was because it wasn't just about them banning Free Talk Live.
It's about
it was
permission.
about this sort of it was about this sort of permission granting system that had built up over the years where vendors were frustrated because there were all these rules that were put into place about, what does it take to get a spot in Agora Alley? You have to jump through these hoops. There's this, permission slip, and you got to pay a fee, and
you can and can't. And you got to have the right kind of finagling of you join the club and you get a bracelet, which gives you a free. I'm like, stop.
And it didn't used to be that way.
No, it wasn't.
In the early days. And what's interesting, Ernie, is I know you're in the ForkFest Telegram chat group, which people can join. Just go to forkfest.party and click on chat, and that'll take you there. But we're seeing the original PorkFest, the Porcupine Freedom Festival, like the guy who created the first one before it was even called PorkFest. It was called something else, like I forget what it was. Like anyway, it was like year zero basically, where they had people come up to Rogers Campground. Tim Condon, he's now in the chat room. He's planning on going to ForkFest. So we're seeing like the PorkFest originals. They're coming out this year. They heard about ForkFest and they've said this sounds like what PorkFest, the Porcupine Freedom Festival, used to be.
Yeah.
And they want to be there.
No, that's the thing. See, when I was talking, the reason I was so supportive of Jay Noon doing his man camp, which is, it's of course, were women allowed? He goes, yeah. Woo man is just a man with a womb. Whatever, a woo man camp. So anyway, so you have man camp. He's going, the biggest problem he has, people that are moving there from around the country, they want to go be free, but they don't know how to do anything. How do I pound this nail? That kind of thing. So he's doing welding. He gave us a class. I was up at Derek's in Maine last month or so, and it was awesome. I know how to weld a little bit but I didn't understand all the different kinds and what metal would do and different kind of how, and boom, he had it done. I go, this is awesome. Doing some forging, doing some artwork with, melting and bending horseshoes. I mean, they're going to have some leather leggings and so on. So this is the kind of thing that I want to help and sponsor and encourage, and what I have been talking to PorkFest about. But they're in a totally different mindset. It's corporate sponsors, big, and it's like I see the Koch brothers and Koch Industries and Cato and all these guys. They always do the same thing. They go find the parade, they jump in front of it, they fund it, and then they pull, and then it kind of goes away. They get you dependent, and then they pull. They take the best people to do whatever they want, get a database. They're definitely about the database, and then they're gone. And I see it happen over and over and over. And the second you start organizing or catering to these guys for this kind of stuff, that's the death knell. That's when it happens. And I go, I already know where this goes. We're doing, Jackalope Freedom Festival. And here comes
this year,
ForkFest.
Ernie, the Porcupine Freedom Festival is being sponsored by ForkFest.
Okay. I want to end on that. Tell us that story real quick. You got like 30 seconds.
Somebody behind the ForkFesters wanted to sponsor the Porcupine Freedom Festival, and they ponied up some Bitcoin to do so. And so now the gold sponsor of PorkFest is the very event that spawned off of PorkFest.
Well, then they said they didn't want to take your, I don't know, it's not chump change. It's like $6,000 or something, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, you heard about that, huh? I was going to leave that part of the story out.
No, it's a lot of money, okay, to sponsor the VIP tent or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they
I
go,
was
yeah.
going to do it, and the board of directors rejected the sponsorship after 2 months. They gave it back to me. So now Christopher Wade from thinkpenguin.com, he stepped up and got it done. So time out. Why would they say yes and then no, and who did? What the hell was going on there? If Ian Freeman presses the send button, it's not allowed. But if Chris Wade presses the send button on the Bitcoin, then it's okay.
Hilarity ensues. Well, I tell you what, I'm really sad. I'm not going to make the first days of ForkFest because I got my brother-in-law is getting married in Norfolk. But as soon as that's over, boom, I'm up there, and I'll be big gay dance partying, in case anybody, wants to see that.
There.
But the
ForkFest.party. ForkFest.party.
Really? Okay.
That's the website.
ForkFest.party. party. Damn. You know, it's like getting organized and stuff. Oh, that's how it starts.
This is.
There we go.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Well, I want to get some more information about what's planned, what can be done, the art. What I asked is I gave you the pixel dimensions for the ads, you know, but I never got anything for those to put it on the site.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Decentralized.
Well, I mean, is there somebody I should talk to? I should just do it, or can you send me original art? I can give the Davi what?
Yeah, I posted the art in that channel, the Telegram chat. I can send it to you directly if you want. Johnson said he was going to take care of it, but he's busy.
Who?
Johnson Rice, my graphics guy.
Send me the original artwork in an email to me and Davi and I this weekend will work on what we're going to do and how we incorporate. And I think I may even be doing T-shirts this Monday. This is the best time I got this Monday. So we'll go buy, get the screens done, buy the shirts. I got my own stuff and dryers and all that kind of crap. And we'll just pump out we got a bunch of screens for pirate stuff. And I wanted to get one for Fork Fest and Man Camp. And, so we're working on that this weekend. So if you send me the art now, then I'll have that and we can rock and roll.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send that over to you. That's no problem. I mean, Davi's welcome to do whatever he wants with it. No. We were going to ask somebody's permission. Or he can make his own logo. I mean,
Oh, no, heavens forbid. We were going to ask somebody's permission.
Yeah, this is just Johnson's logo. So if Davi wants to make it.
Johnson's nothing. I get it. It's freaking mine. Feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm not playing that game. That's how you get down the dark side. So you give me the stuff and we will do something with it and have some fun and whatever. Because once we do that, the Fork Fest is kind of the one that's sticking and probably for a lot of good reasons. So I think that there may be, some pirate whatever at Fork Fest or some crap like that, which is what I'm trying to get Alma to do with Jackalope. She's like making it too sad. I'm going, no, whatever you want to do at the Jackalope. I mean, if you make it Jackalope, then it becomes an event and a thing and the man shows up. Quit doing that, The more you organize, the more that's how we got in trouble the second year when we got SWAT teams wanting to say hello with helicopters and crap, Well, yeah, we turn over Jack if we knew who he was. We don't know Jack, and then they were like, damn it, and then they went away. But so that's, give me today. If you can do it right now, Ian, that'd be awesome because.
I just did.
All right, you the man. Yeah. Thank you very much.
There.
All right, well, we'll stay in touch on the Telegram and get
whatever he comes up with, shoot them back to me, would you? Because I'll put those in the Forkfest group. That way, other people can use them on their websites.
Yeah, no, we've been talking. Yeah, we're just so busy. I have 3 weeks ago. I set this weekend for me to deal with this. It's one of those kind of deals. So this weekend I got time and we're rocking on it, and we're going to have some fun. It just sucks that I'm not going to be able to be that weekend, but I like to keep married and stuff. So plus my brother-in-law's cool and whatever.
Got to do what you got to do.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. See you later.
All right. Peace, brother.
Have a good day.
The enormous number of civilian lives lost as a direct result of thousands of coalition airstrikes and tens of thousands of U.S. artillery strikes from June to October 2017. The report is detailed on the interactive website created by the investigative news organization Air Wars and the human rights group Amnesty International USA, which carried out what they call the most comprehensive investigation into civilian deaths in a modern conflict. The findings confirm that the U.S.-led coalition has admitted to just a fraction of the civilian carnage it caused in Syria, even as it has boasted of the care it's taken in avoiding such casualties and the precision of the offensive. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part.
Are we going to do video? Are you there, Patrick? I don't hear. You might be muted. Oh, he might have muted it on purpose. Yeah, he's got it muted.
Hey, Ernie.
They do.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Did you want to do video or no?
Yeah, I got video here. Hang on. I was looking at the background and I layered so many windows over the top of the screen. I forgot, couldn't find it. Hey.
Okay, we're kind of echoey. Let's see.
Should be good. I've got earphones and my microphone. I could put on my head. Well, there shouldn't be any
Well,
sound.
where's the mic? Oh, it's the mic right there.
Well, yeah, my mic's off to the side. I could bring it closer if that helps. I don't think it will.
No, it's are you in a small room?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, it needs like this sound crap,
Okay.
you know.
I'll tell you what, hang on a sec. Let me change my ears.
Sure.
This might make a change. Can you hear me?
It's the same.
Is it really?
Yeah, go ahead and put it. It's not the ears; it's the echoing in the room.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Well, I just put this aside then.
Yeah, no, you're fine. No, you can put your other ears on. It doesn't make any difference if they're more comfortable with the other ones.
Actually, these are more comfortable. They just look a little, you know.
Well, then I must look stupid because, you know.
I'm not the driver's seat, see? And I don't have fancy ones like you have.
All right. Well, what we're going to do when we come back, here's what we got. We'll just wait for the beginning of the show. What we're going to do is talk about first technocracy.news, push that. And are you doing Red Pill this year? Did I see something on here?
No.
No.
No Red Pill.
Yeah, there was something she had in here. I didn't think you were.
Yeah.
So the what we're going to do is talk about technocracy.news, what your mission is, what's going on, and then, of course, the smart city thing and 5G and all the crap that's going on here, and then what we're going to do at the Breakfast Club kind of thing. And I'm relatively concerned just in the stage where you get up to where everybody knows. And once everybody knows, then they kind of negotiate and they got to change people's minds, and people want to be informed, and then we supply them with the information, and then hilarity ensues. So but this is serious. I don't think people really realize how fast this is coming, and we're turning into China, and they're going to be doing it right here in Arizona, IA, because it's like, where do you hit the nail? I don't know, whichever one's sticking up the most, and it's always Arizona. We keep pushing out the nail, and they keep hammering it. All right, here we go. What the heck is that? Ian! Call Ian. He's got the... There we go.
The path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Today, let us make them remember. We are not afraid!
Yeah! Now we're doing the show from the network, and Ian had with the network, and he had to push a button. Thanks for pushing the button, Ian. I'm glad he was there to push the button. We're talking with, this hour, Patrick Wood, editor-in-chief of technocracy.news. Patrick Wood is a leading critical expert on sustainable development, green economy, Agenda 21, 2030 agenda, and historic technocracy. The historic technocracy is probably what we focus on the most. He's author of Technocracy Rising, the Trojan Horse of Global Transformation in 2015, and co-author of Trilaterals Over Washington, volumes 1 and 2, with the late Anthony C. Sutton from the Hoover Institute, and at 78 and 80, it was the big going concern. And it was, you want to talk about banning and shadow banning? Well, that was definitely done with that. And the reason is because they could. All they, them, those started taking over publishing, just like they take over combining media and websites and, shadow banning, and you're not allowed to do and say that about and whatever. Here it comes. So this is definitely, Patrick knows all about that. Now, go ahead and technocracy.news. You'll see on Freedom's Phoenix every day he sends like the top 3 or whatever, and at least one of all 3 of those. It's rare. I wouldn't select one that we already had or did before or something. He's always got something new about they, them, those. Is plugging the plug in the back of my matrixed head, So tell us about technocracy.news and why people should go subscribe and get your goodies.
Wow. Well, Ernie, Technocracy News is the only website on the internet that deals with a critical view of technocracy. The only one. It's incredible. And so when people go there, they're going to see articles that showcase, if you will, the whole technocracy name. It's very broad-based today. It's not really narrow like maybe 5 years ago. We kind of had a narrow view, but this thing is spreading like the worst case of crabgrass your lawn ever had. And so new topics are being wrapped in all the time, but you can see it. You can see the progression. Like you said earlier, you can see the progression. It's accelerating, and more people are jumping on the bandwagon.
That was one thing. We were down at Narcapoco. David Icke was, did his 4-hour thing, and he got a lot more support than a lot of people anticipated. It was fun. 4 hours seemed like an hour and a half, and it was. And he only talked about reptile aliens for a little bit. But but what happened was he's going. If you see if you know the destination, you see the journey, and that was kind of the theme of a lot of the PowerPoint slides. If you know the destination, you see the journey, and that's and Patrick knows the destination, so it's easy to see the journey, And if you go to technocracy.news, you'll see the signposts, the mile markers, the whatever that they need to do to accomplish, and it includes things like surveillance. Oh, great example. Donna, on top of that printer on the shelf in the room up there is that cameras from Cox and so on. Bring that bag here. Okay, this is what happened. They come, we're going to give you Giga Blast. We're going to put in a new router, get 1,000 megabyte download, pinky swear. All the problems you've been having for years now, we're going to come fix it for you for low price of the same. And after a year, maybe you'll want to go back to the old crap or satellite. And we'll give you this. Well, they kind of, all right, fine. Let's see how this goes. Well, of course, they get it all here, and then they have this other box, and everything all set up, and they go, well, we need to install your camera and your doorbell, and you're all, and I go, whoa, what? And I go, yeah, it comes with a camera, it comes with a doorbell, with a video, it comes with a, Wi-Fi route booster, kind of whatever the hell it was, right? And all I need is your phone. I mean, he actually wanted me to hand him my phone so he could put in this app, and I go, stop right there. I got one question. Is there a totally agree button on that? And I totally agree. Is it a long list of all the crap you're going to do on my phone? And I agree. I totally agree. To be able to look at, on my phone, all this surveillance that you're going to put in from Cox. Is that? And in that agreement, is you guys get to see and do and kind of make that. It's like that. And they go, well, yeah. I go, never mind. Take it back. Nope, we can't take it. You got to keep it. And you got to turn it in after a year. So I'm going, this is a light bulb, some controller thing. I don't know, but this is it, the camera. And they wanted to install this and make sure I had all kinds of camera goodies and this. And of course, these got microphones and stuff. Then we find out from Google, we turned off the microphone, but on the board it had another microphone. That wasn't a bug, that was a feature, we'll get you later. So I'm just like, wow, technocracy, this is it. And they definitely wanted to come do it in my house, I guarantee it. And I'm going, wow, is this part of a program or just a special Ernie program? But it was definitely clear they wanted my phone. And I'm going, yep, you guys didn't say this part on the phone. Well, no. But I can't have them take it back. I got to hold it. And if I don't turn it in, I'm going to owe them later. And I'm like, I didn't sign anything. There's nothing to sign. They just put it in. You know, there's no agreement. But I guarantee what the agreement was with Cox that said before. You totally agree to everything that we say you have to agree to somewhere, sometime. So technocracy as a philosophy is what? Explain it to the people.
Well, it's an economic system, Ernie. It's not really a political system at all. The only reason they have any interest in politics is to drive the economic system to fruition. And we've seen this since 1973 with the Trilateral Commission. The only interest in politics is in order to drive the economic flipping, if you will, of capitalism and free enterprise into sustainable development or technocracy. That's what it's all about. It's about economic domination of all products, all consumption, and everything that people do in the world. They want control over all the forms of production and all the forms of consumption. That's you and me. And there's no latitude for anything else. It's the scientific management of society, they say. And so they're using scientific answers for everything. And as they elevate science up to be like godlike, right? Well, if science says you can't disagree, it is science after all. And so here's the solution. And the only solution that's ever being offered anywhere on the planet, including here, is sustainable development, Agenda 21, 2030 agenda, new urban agenda, and all the garbage like that. It's all economic up here thinking. They want to get inside your head so they can sell things to you and micromanage you from cradle to grave.
To what end? To keep them in charge, to make money, because, you know, to worship Baal or something? I mean, what are they doing?
Well, look, in the beginning of 1973, Ernie, I believe that David Rockefeller and his cronies, Zbigniew Brzezinski, and all the rest of the people he invited in to the Trilateral Commission, Rockefeller had a vision that one day money was going to be absolutely worthless, and there was no point trying to skim more money off of it with the Federal Reserve and the banking system, fractional banking system. He saw that coming. Well, what do you do when the money becomes worthless and useless to you as a billionaire or a trillionaire? Where do you go from there? The only thing left to do is go for the resources directly. If they have control of the resources, they have everything.
The resources, you mean like, you know, mines and water and goodies and right. Property and deeds and stuff.
That's right. The food supply, all the energy supply.
Yeah. What are you going to buy with that money? It's mine now. All right, more with Patrick Wood, technocracy.news, in just a little bit.
Crimes of the Crown by Captain Mark. The Crown casts the world in shadow and claims to be our guiding light. Cowards clamor for security from boogeymen and ghost stories, while I say these hobgoblins are imaginary. I say those they propped up as our liberators are now subsisting on our bondage. I say there is freedom in the black, and that's exactly where we intend to go. The Crown banishes its own officers for exposing its crimes and tortures dissidents to the brink of madness. It dominates the globe and swallows the wealth of generations, leaving only blood and excrement. The Crown calls it piracy to explore frontiers beyond its grasp. So the time has come for us to define the conduct among pirates. I say the Crown has trampled our necks long enough. Need decentralized solutions to centralized problems? Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels? Or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com. We won't be hard to find.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie.
Okay, I want to pull up that ASU thing. Smart cities,
I just sent you a link, Ernie.
In the Zoom or
in the chat, in Zoom, the chat.
Okay, I found it here. What I'm looking for is initiatives, people, goals, events, projects, opportunities, news. Tell me, ASU website, cookies. I agree. I totally agree. Take all my crap. Or not. Okay, people, initiative. the initiative. What I'm looking for is that PDF of all of the ways to fund it. Let's see. Future Catalyst, Community Nexus, working at Boundary Organization to. Oh, love this. Community Nexus. CSCR works as a boundary organization to collaborate with publics, community groups, and nonprofits through public engagement, public science to foster the ability of communities to envision, articulate, and bring about the future they want. Initial projects: urban resilience to extreme sustainability research network. Blah 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 blah. There, I like this. I like this wording. It works as a boundary organization. What the hell does that mean? You know? God.
Yeah.
The what I'm looking for was the funding thing. They were going, this is how we're going to fund it. And I had it somewhere, but let's see. John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, of course, as well as a gift from Google, the MacArthur Foundation, Research Network on Open Governance. See, this is, man, we brought in all the boys. We're going to have lots of friends. All right. Well, we'll talk about this when we come back. Here we go.
Congress for less than 48 hours to study and consider. That's over 60 pages of legislation per hour. Do you think anyone read the entire bill? I'm Jim Babka with DownsizeDC.org. Consider a proposal buried in a 3,200-page, $388 billion bill, which would have empowered committee chairmen or their agents to examine Americans' tax returns. When this horrible provision came to light, no one claimed to know how it got into the bill. One congressman questioned said, "I didn't write it, I didn't approve it, I wasn't even consulted." If your attorney represented you this way, he might be disbarred. But this is how Congress represents you every day. That's why DownsizeDC.org has created the Read the Bills Act. You can force Congress to read their bills before they pass them at DownsizeDC.org.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
To be a part of the show, call 602-264-2800. 602-264-2800. And now, Ernest Hancock.
It's the same old story, same old song and dance, my friend.
Yeah.
It's the
same
old story,
same
old story,
same old song and dance. I heard this before. Now, it's called the Arizona State University is getting heavily involved in this. I mean, you might as well be freaking screaming global warming or something because, man, they're giving them all kinds of goodies. And it's called the Center for Smart Cities and Regions. And what's scary about it, Center for Smart Cities and Regions, the CSCR, is working with Arizona Institute for Digital Progress, Greater Phoenix Economic Council, and communities in the greater area, blah, 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 blah. Now, Phoenix Economic Development used to be the Phoenix 40 kind of guys. This was, they weren't even secret about it. Yeah, there's 40 of us, we rule you, get over it, okay? And this was a big thing throughout most of Arizona's history in my lifetime. And then they said, well, we're going to have groups that we're working with, and we got academia, so they got the universities. They have supporting groups like Google, the MacArthur Foundation, the whatever foundation, the foundation of Arthur Daniel, whatever the hell, all these foundations, and money, and they're just going to tell you what's what. This is how it works. Now, the one thing I was looking for, and I'll find it later when we do our presentation next week and so on, but it was about how you're going to fund it. And this is what we knew in all the sustainable stuff, all these small communities, what's going on, what happened in Florence, and then with Apache Junction, and it's Quartzsite, all these small communities, they got to get you on the water grid. You got to have on the city septic and the water system we got to have some utility. Damn it, they got solar. They came out in the desert and they got solar, and they, found their own water well, but You got to have a septic system, and you can't have a septic system. You got to have municipal, sewage lines or something, and that's how they get you. And that's been the standard operating procedure through this whole thing. You got to be on the man's grid. Then they charge you per faucet and all this other crap. Well, in this document that they had, how they're going to fund it, they go, look, this is how you turn your population and your geographic jurisdiction into our tax slaves. And it just goes line by line of how they're going to get you to pay for it and not them. And I'm going, pay for what? Your enslavement. And it is so crystal clear, and they're proud of it. They have to be, because what they're doing is like, damn. So Patrick and I are going to out this thing. I had hoped that we could have done it a month or two ago while they're still in session, but they'll probably still be in session, and there are some legislators that are worried about it. Have you talked to any legislators that, know what's going on?
I have, and so far, I haven't found any specific legislation that's been put into the pipeline that directly addresses what this Institute for Digital Progress is doing with the Smart City Initiative. If, like you said, it's probably coming. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, one, they may not need it. They just do this hegemonic unilateral of I'm the executive decision of we're just doing it, which is what seems is happening. And then the other thing is that they always do it sine die. Right at the end of the session, there'll be some big flood. We should be ready to go camp out, and be in the gallery and go, I see what you're doing, you sons of bitches. So I guarantee it's going to happen. I guarantee. So we need to be there going, all right, who wants to play this game? Let's play. Let's rock.
If they need it. I'm not sure at this point that they need legislation behind what they're doing. And I'll tell you why. We talked about the idea that what's happening in the Valley of the Sun is a pilot program for other regions around the country. This is the first place they've done this. And so the whole country and really the whole world has been watching what's happening in Maricopa County.
Okay, why? Why is it always Arizona? I always tell people, I go, you have no idea. It's always Arizona. And I'm going, why?
It's University of Arizona, ASU.
Yep.
They are the #1 university in this country for sustainable development. I went down to the campus. I couldn't hardly believe this. I went down to the campus, walked around the whole campus in Tempe, and you see signs for sustainable this and sustainable that in every department you go to. But then you come to this 4-story blockhouse building. It's a pretty good sized building, actually. It's the ASU School of Sustainability. That's what it's called.
No, I know. They
offer degrees up to PhD in sustainability.
Ugh.
And they bill themselves as the leading school of sustainability in America, period, in the subject. They view themselves as being el numero uno in sustainability.
Well, tell us about Michael Crow. He's the head guy, ASU, been around, and InQtel and CIA. Did ASU, give us some pedigree on ASU and all this crap.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was a time, I don't know how this slipped up on me, Ernie, but there was a time when ASU, the only good use I had for ASU was that it had, it was easy to spoil for U of A in basketball or football. Whenever they got close to the championship, U of A had come in and knock them off the pedestal. I never saw this coming, honestly, for decades. I never saw this coming. And now I'm really, honestly, when I first went down and walked around ASU myself to see this with my own eyeballs, I was really surprised that they had come this far that fast.
No, this is how they do it. I remember talking to you about this. I'm going, man, here we go. And how are they going to fund it? Well, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, And what they did is, I tell you, this is how it works. I just want so people understand, how this works. Let me get on camera here and push the button, and I got to push the right buttons here. All right, there it is. All right, this is how it works. you have to have an appearance of legitimacy. It's all about legitimacy. How did you get the power to do it? How? Well, they want to give the impression that it's fait accompli. It's already done. Well, it's the same people. It's the same lobbying group. It's the same. Money goes up the, the surveillance state. It's they, them, those. It's whoever, and they got a plan. The plan is that they have academia. They have all of the professors. They got the wing. They already had that plan. Crow's got, we're going to build. They already probably did remodeling. They got it. It's all set. Then they come in and they go, oh, we got industry. Well, it's Google gives them some money, and they got which means all the tech guys, and you look at their list of stuff, and it's a long list of, we love this thing. We're going to be part of it. Then you have policy makers. They go, leaders in the community, policy, community members, the people that are in support of. And I'm going, really? So this trifecta, this three-legged stool is based at the top of it. It's the same people. They just give you the impression it has this wide support, and you can probably count them on one hand. So I'm going, I already see where this is going. They've already made the decision. Here it freaking comes. Let's look at this. All right. You're looking at Tempe, the city of Tempe, Arizona Board of Regents, which is, I guess, the university system, ASU Decision Theater Network, Greater Phoenix Economic Council. These are the money guys and the businesses. Maricopa County Public Health, Arizona Department of Health Services, Institute for Digital Progress, the McCain Institute. Wow, that makes me feel better, the Virginia G. Piper Charitable Trust, Helios, on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So this is, and GovLab, well, that makes me feel better. So this is just, it's like they're already doing it, and we're going to out them.
Why did you move to?
Yeah, I just wanted to get that in. So I have, I did, when I first talked to you about it, I'd done my, kind of study, and I got it, after you scratch the surface, you see a few names and groups, and you go, okay, I get it. And so what I'm doing is I'm going, yeah, I think what I'll do is we'll out them, and we'll just go, here they are, and this is what's happening. But I already know that if they got to this stage, they had already picked their ponies to ride. They already know what legislators are going to do. They're in leadership, and whatever Crow ASU says, because the surveillance community said you gotta. And it's coming, and they're just, legislators putting their head down. Not me, I didn't do it. And I'm going, yeah, you did. So that's why I wanted to get earlier in the session. But now I think they know that there's a little something coming up that I don't know how they're going to get away with it. But do you think they're not going to get away with it, or what do you think?
Well, Ernie, click on the link that I sent you in the chat window.
Yeah, see, but it's like I got 15 zillion computers here. Let me see.
Do you have it? Okay, I did this in the Zoom. The Zoom.
Okay,
the Zoom
all
window.
right, let me click on it there. I don't even know if I can do it from, I haven't done this. Okay, go.
It should say chat at the beginning.
No, I got it. I see it. I'm clicking on it, but it's not
doing
anything. Let me see. Well, here, I'll just copy it.
Yeah.
Paste it. Copy. Open this.
Yeah.
Come on. Get up for the break.
Want me to send it again?
No, send it by email.
Oh, I can do that.
Because it's multitasking crap.
Yeah, I hear you. Ernie Hancock at Gmail.
No, send it to Ernest Hancock at Cox.
I don't have that. Oh yeah, I do. I see it. Okay.
Yeah, do that because this is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, here it comes. Boom, I sent it.
All right, let me go ahead and pull it up and get ready.
Yeah. This is the proof that I think maybe that they don't need to have legislation. And it's also a proof of concept. that what they've done is already out of incubation.
Okay, designing our future, smart region, Southern Arizona, blah, blah, blah. Oh, so they're doing the whole state. Okay.
No, not the whole. This is a separate organization.
Oh, really?
They're cookie cuttering it. This is what they plan in the first place anyway. Stamping, taking the model and going bam, 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 all the way across the country. And they started with Southern Arizona, Pima County. It's the same thing. I mean, you kind of read through it, you see it's the same thing, same idea. It's a regional governance operation where they're going to enforce the smart city implementation of technology across the entire region, denying the individual cities their right to participate.
All right.
Just like MAG, just like Maricopa Association of Governments.
All right, here we go.
Twitter.lrn.fm.
There are those that just want to be left alone, and those that just won't leave them alone. Which one are you? The Ernest Hancock Show.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence. All right, Center for Smart Cities and Regions. One thing that Patrick wanted to show us, I'll put it up here real quick. New tab here. Designing Our Future. Pima Association of Governments, like Maricopa Association of Governments, MAG here, was kind of the template that they do a lot of this regional stuff. And the reason was because MAG was all the cities here in the Valley of the Sun that kind of came together for flood control. That was their common thing. We got to have a regional whatever and flood control of flood and once we created it, then we can do a lot of stuff. Well, this is the kind of stuff that they're doing. Tell us about Pima Association of Governments.
Well, it's the same thing that's happening at ASU. It's taking a regional governance approach to implementation of smart city technology. That is, when 5G comes to your city, that's the high-speed wireless communication thing. This is going to light up the Internet of Things across the country. These people know that. But the cities and the city councils and those pesky little, units out there that don't want to go along or that want to do something their way, this is the answer to just squashing all city level dissent on how this stuff is going to be rolled out. So they've set up kind of a de facto regional governance situation where the Smart City Initiative will tell all of the cities in the county within that region how they're going to interact with smart city technology and who the contractors are that are going to come in and do it. Just imagine, you mentioned Cox earlier, just imagine somebody like Cox comes in with all their stuff, right? And these smart city regions have already greased the skids where legally the cities have nothing to say about it. So when the Cox guy shows up at the city's door, hey, we're here. Who are you?
And you get your cameras.
we brought you cameras. We brought you microphones. We brought you light poles. We brought you sensors for your elevators and cameras to put on the doorbells. And it's all free. All you got to do is just nothing really, because you're going to get it whether you want it or not.
I'm looking at a list here, show the audience, the fellows. All right, these are the people that are professor of director and new and kind of director, and we haven't got my name listed, and maybe they even know that they're listed or not. I don't know what but you interview any of these guys, and Donna, come here, take a look at this. What we can do is here's a list of names. I bet I don't get more than 2 into this list, and then it's done. All right, this right here. It's ASU EDU current fellows. I'm going to send you this link and start sending emails. Just do one at a time, each day or something like that, and see if you get response. They want to come on the show and talk about, the Center for, because they'll come because they just can't help themselves. But and we'll just ask them straight out. We'll just go, oh, so what are you planning? What's to do? Well, how are you going to do this and how are you going to do that? So we'll start getting these guys on, and maybe you can get some of the guys on too. I usually get, vanity, my favorite sin. They can't help themselves. You know what I mean? So I'm just, all right, we're doing that. This is one thing I was looking for. It looks like they took the link down. What was so prominent for me, and we have it in a post, that when we put this stuff up on Freeman's Phoenix months ago, is that there's a PDF that goes to them being able to do fundraising and what they were talking about. What are all the different ways that they're going to fund this through fees and crap? Did you look at that?
Well, so far, I haven't. All I've seen so far is private money coming into it. I haven't seen money what I want to say, like tax-oriented money coming from the public.
No. It wasn't that money is coming in. They gave it to the cities. Here's a template for how you can get the money.
Right.
You don't think you can do this? You just enslave your people, this tax fee of the whatever, and this. It was a roadmap of tyranny. And I'm going, holy crap. And look at you like livestock and how they can increase the production of the herd. That is exactly what that was.
That's right. And the key is the herd. One of the big sticking points on 5G right now is that cities wanted to negotiate independently with the carriers like Verizon, AT&T, and so on where the poles would be put and how much they would get in royalties for the rent. Like a light pole belongs to the city. They're the ones that put it in. But the Smart City Initiative is going to take the rights of negotiation away from the cities, and they will do the bulk negotiation at the regional level and then tell the cities, this is the deal we made for you. You're going to have to accept the royalty. You're going to get $500 a pole or whatever the heck it is. They might have wanted $2,000 a pole, but they're going to take what they get and they're going to have nothing to say about it. And the FCC has already backed up the smart city regions with that kind of authority, where they said, no, the cities are too rogue. They're like herding cats. We can't get this rolled out if we let the cities do their own thing, because everybody's going to want to do a different deal. That wasn't acceptable. So they said, we're going to do it for them. We're going to just tell them, okay, we did it. We negotiated it. Here it is. You're going to get X dollars, and that's it. Good luck.
I'm looking at all these different, establish ASU as a leading global center for interdisciplinary research, discovery, and development by 2025 in ruling our livestock. So I'm not so concerned, as far as whether they actually do this or not. They've been attempting and they want, and they're going to, whatever they're going to do. And I'm more concerned about the freedom for us to escape and not be part of, not be forced and mandated of whatever. But that only comes from just people being generally aware, to have an opinion of, look, they're going to try and rule you. Oh, you want to be ruled? Well, you go get in that line. Am I allowed not to get in that line? That's the problem. In Arizona, there isn't, the mandates and so on for vaccinations or trying to do away with exemptions and all that. It doesn't flush here, but you got a governor. He wants to be, I don't know, they all want to be president someday or something. And Big Pharma's going to tell them what they have to and can't do. And I'm going, where's the pushback? They're doing what they can to eliminate opposition voices from third parties or libertarians or whatever. They single you out. But where's the pushback? You think there's pushback? Are the people starting to become aware, or we're going to make them aware? Or when they become aware, I go, good, it's about time I wanted my Matrix plug, be in my pillow. So what do you think's going to happen? Are we gone too far down the dark side?
There's a lot of resistance from an individual point of view across the country. A lot of people are concerned about what's going on with 5G and how this is just being rammed down our throats. But I haven't found a large awareness yet of people really understanding the danger of 5G and lighting up the Internet of Things. That will be the network that really corrals society all together, brings it all together and pushes it down towards scientific dictatorship. Most people are concerned about the health effects. That's legitimate. but that's not really the issue. They don't care about health benefits. They don't care if people get sick or not. That's not why they're doing it. And they say
Hey,
that.
the government loves me. They love my teeth. They want me. The government loves my teeth so much, they're going to make me take fluoride. The fact that the government loves my teeth, that is just like hilarious to me.
Yeah, they just don't care. So the whole reason that 5G is coming out is to light up the Internet of Things. They want to light up all the possibilities for autonomous vehicles, which this is going to enable. They want to enable all the smart city technology that we're talking about over here with smart regions. They're desperate to get this stuff in place. And I have to say, why are they so desperate? Well, we're one step away from scientific dictatorship, and they know it.
Okay, I found the document. I come back, I'm going to show you guys. This is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Of course, I had to go to Freedom's Phoenix to find it when we published it. But, this is, take a look at this. Dang, man, it's long. How are we going to make us some money? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. We'll be right back with this in just a little bit.
From the third letter of Captain Mark. The Crown's observation conditions us to be dishonest with ourselves. Therefore, constant surveillance produces a society of constant deception. Honest communication is the seed of civilized conduct. To deny us this seed is to deny us its fruits. But the Crown's primary objective is to stifle free thought itself, to make its subjects incapable of dissent. Seasoned pirates have always encrypted messages and codes and ciphers, so intercepted transmissions were incomprehensible. But today the Crown possesses advanced tools of pattern recognition that document, profile, and predict our every move. Today, piracy requires hailing frequencies completely invisible to the Crown. We are tired of poltergeists in the static. Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels, or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
The easiest thing in the world for a reader to do is to stop reading, according to the late, great Barney Kilgore, who became managing editor of the Wall Street Journal in 1941 and grew the paper's circulation from 33,000 to 1 million by the 60s. And he'd be pleased to know that his paper is one of the few that people now pay to read online.
Okay, I got Donna. She's going to put up the stories that we did on these back in whenever. When was this? This was, doesn't have a date on it. Let's see, October. So this is October 8th that we started working on this. And the Smart Cities Financing Guide. And have you seen that? I think I sent it to you. Yeah, do a search on this, Patrick, so you have it up. Go, dang it. Back. Okay, Smart Cities Financing Guide. freedomsphoenix.com.
Oh. Is that from ASU? The PDF?
Yeah, it's a PDF ASU thing.
Yeah, I found it.
Okay. Open that up.
Yeah.
Tell me when you got it open. I'll tell you where to go.
Got it.
Okay, you scroll down to, it's like page 3 or something. Page 2. Okay, you see it says table of contents?
Yeah, table of contents.
Okay, then it's got, development exactions, whatever the hell that means. General obligation. All right, government-based financing options for cities, Chapter 3.
Got it.
And it's going, you can do general obligation bonds, revenue bonds, industrial revenue bonds, green bonds, qualified electric compensation bonds, social impact bonds, public bond, tax money, get done. It's a template for doing this crap.
Yeah, there you go.
And I go, you sons of bitches, man. So I'm glad I saved that because they took the link off of their thing, scumbags.
Yeah. Oh, qualified energy conservation bonds.
Yeah, they just make this shit up,
Social impact bonds.
It's money is what it is. They just do it. All right, general obligation bonds. Let me see. General obligation bonds are one of two common types of municipal bond instruments. Such bonds are typically used to finance basic core infrastructure investments at the local level of government. These could be blah, 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 blah. We rule you. Okay? I get it. All right.
Crazy.
.com/FTL. FreedomFest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
There's a man going around taking names, and he decides who to free and who to blame. Everybody won't be treated all the same. There'll be a golden ladder reaching down when the man comes around.
Oh, he's coming. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. This is how he's doing it, too. All right, here we have the table of contents of this PDF that I was talking about. And it goes in there, and it's Chapter 3. Let's see. It starts off, Chapter 1, City Financial Challenges and Opportunities. Opportunities. Ooh. 10 Characteristics of Finance Options. Chapter 3, Government-Based Finance Options for Cities. General Obligation Bond, Revenue Bond, Industrial Revenue Bond, Green Bonds, Qualified Energy Conservation Bonds, Social Impact Bonds, Public Benefit Funds, Linked Deposit Programs, Energy Efficient Loans, Property-Assisted Clean Energy, Greenhouse Emission Allowance Auctions, User Fees, allowance auctions. What the hell? Allowance. We're going to give you a permit to breathe or something, and we're going to auction that off. So I'm telling you, I looked at this. This is it. All the other stuff is blah, 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 blah. This is it. Other stuff, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Taxes, blah, 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 blah. Fees, blah, 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 blah. Bonds, indebtedness, special election of what we're going to get your money. Oh, yeah, and to pay for the plug that goes in the back of your head. Here it is. And I'm going, this is what's going on at every level. And this template, Arizona State, here it comes. And what's going to happen? And what are they going to get away with? And who's it going to be? And how much do they want to come put a camera and to get into my phone and be able to Cox and personal data of Cell have gotten Ernie? You see my point? And I'm going, no. I think I'll decline. So this right here, is this ring any bells of different kind of funding mechanisms here, Patrick?
Absolutely, it does. And there's one other source of funding on top of this, which you say is absolutely right. That's how they're doing it. There's another program that was implemented under the Trump administration that called for the establishment of opportunity zones around the country. And governors of the states are allowed to identify the opportunity zones in their cities and their counties. And once that's done, they turn it into the Treasury. And all of a sudden, that becomes a magnet for investment dollars where you can put money into these opportunity zones and get incredible tax benefits from having done it. Write-offs and allowances and this, that, and the other. It's a giveaway for public-private partnership type operation. There are currently, in just 2 years since this program has been started, there are already 8,700 opportunity zones identified across America and legally in the system. The Treasury maintains the list. So what's happening with these smart city region or these opportunity zones is that money is pouring in not to help the people, not to do stuff like to develop things for the people in those areas, but rather to implement smart city technology. So there's a source of funds coming from the outside that are like private investors or corporate investors, whatever, that are coming in, investing their money, getting huge tax benefits, and implementing what we're talking about here with the smart city technology.
And protecting themselves from competition by protecting monopoly. You can do it, but these guys can't, and sure as hell not that 22-year-old kid with the new device if I can do it without surveillance. I mean,
Right.
It always comes in. It's like the smart meter thing. It's a Cox thing. It's going to come with data. It's even cars watch you now, and where are they going to make their money? It used to be they made their money on cars that had to come back for repair. Now that cars get better and better and better, they're not getting that money anymore. And General Motors, I remember, 20 years ago, $8,000 of a Cadillac went to the benefits of the employees. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and all that's a pain. So what do? Now they're going to start making money on the data collected from you driving. It's just like your phone. All this is about getting your data. So we're doing all this stuff to get off of their plantation. But I wanted to show you this. It says he's talking about opportunities. City financial challenges and opportunities. For us, when we think opportunities, we want freedom to have options. It's an opportunity to do something else. Well, when they're talking to government people, city financial challenges and opportunities, their opportunities, how are you going to milk us for more money? And then here it says, such rapid urbanization carries significant implications for the world's ecosystems as outlined in a 2012 United Nations report. This is all going United Nations and collective of worldwide of ASU. They're not even hiding it anymore.
No, they're not. I sent you a link, by the way, an email to a link to the map of opportunity zones. Arizona is riddled with them. Governor Ducey has already designated a swath of opportunity zones in Arizona.
Of course he did. He wants to be Presidente.
Well, he may, but I'm just saying, you add layer on top of what we're talking about, the Smart Region Initiative, layer on top of that the opportunity zones that are mapped out here, and you'll find a matrix that all the stuff is coming to dovetail to inundate us with smart city technology. It's coming for us. It's coming for us. It's a coordinated, multi-pronged attack from the government, as well as the state, as well as the NGO type operations like ASU. They're working in concert with each other to bring the hammer down on us. It's not just one, it's all of them together. It's amazing.
No, this bag of goodies, man, that I have here, they sent me. They came with the guy. They offering that we're going to gigablast you. We're going to get you all set up, Ernie. We love you long time. I'm like, yeah. So I wanted to see how this goes. Plus, I need faster service, and I don't care. They got to change out their FBI agents every 2 weeks because we convert them. But so they just keep coming in with all this stuff. You would think that they would go, yeah, and you get a camera and you get this as a sell point, and they didn't even mention it to me. It was at the end of after they did it. Then he pulls out the bag. Oh, we need your phone to set up your whatever. I'm going, whoa. I go, are you the NSA? And the guy's like, I'm going, holy crap. They don't even hide it anymore. Except until when they get here, I'm just going, oh yeah, just give me your phone. I'm going to do the app of whatever, and we're going to link it in with, I'm going, wow. Do I got stupid on my forehead? This is just so, and they're doing this everywhere. And we're just an example. Well, the smart meter, we're like, nope, not do I have to. But don't you think that there's some incentive that they give the people that come out for this? They get a bonus or something, and I guarantee they do that. There's some bonus or incentive for these people to get you signed up for whatever reason. They get a cut of something. There's some incentive, and there's probably a quota, and you're not getting enough, and you're not pushing it enough, or whatever, because data is the money now. Money is data, and they want to get every bit they can from your freaking refrigerator. Your refrigerator now has a screen on it. You get refrigerators with a screen. A camera's inside. You don't even have to open the refrigerator and get that nice cool breeze and waste all the energy. But you could just look in, or you just look on your phone to see what's in your refrigerator. Oh, and then when the RFID, tags in there or not there, and you got to build to inventory, and it just automatically orders your food, and it shows up and gets in. Hell, you just let the Amazon guy in to fill up your refrigerator anyway. I mean, which they do. My daughter, she's big on this. She just does everything online, pulls up, and they just put it in the back of her car. They see her coming, they put it in the back car. She goes, now they got to where they just deliver you your food. And that's what Amazon is doing. That's what this Whole Foods buyout thing was about. So this is coming, and it's going to be Arizona IA is on top of the list. I don't know. What do you think we need to do, Patrick, to warn people about what?
We need to do exactly what we're doing, Ernie. And the more people that become aware of this, the more chances there are going to be for kickback, for backlash. I think it's growing. I think awareness is growing at an exponential rate right now. 6 months from now, we could be looking at a different scenario than we see right now, but I see the groundswell coming. And what these people are doing is absolutely indefensible. Whatever people discover what's going on, they go, no, not just no, but heck no.
You know, my thing is I want Jarvis. You know, I'm Tony Stark, man. I want to have my own AI and do whatever, but it be mine. You know, I don't mind technology. I just don't want technology, you know, it goes like this to the NSA and goes, yeah, and Ernie just went to sleep, and Ernie watched this TV pro, and Ernie did, he said this and did, and kind of the algorithm of, we got, you know, we know how to get Ernie, we'll do blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know, I'm not helping them, but that doesn't mean I don't want the goodies. But what do? We're going pirate. A pirate's life for me. With Raspberry Pi and some code to USB into the TV monitor that I have with the cameras and the router, and private ending encrypted to the VPN tunnel. If I get everything I want, load up all my pictures and my kids and whatever, and I don't have to use the iCloud or Facebook, they can suck it. And that's what we're building, because I know what's coming. It is total information awareness. When we made fun of that logo in the trash can flyers, we knew back then.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach?
Yeah, you remember our trash can flyers? I don't know if you ever see those. Total information awareness thing. And they were, it's like they're putting it in your face. They're screwing with you, you know?
Yeah.
All right, well, I look forward to doing this. We'll probably talk before next Saturday. You got an overview of how you take on something. I want to do the financing. You can do all the other crap. I don't even care. You do whatever the hell you want, but I want to do the financing part of that. That is what got me, because I've seen this before and how they do it, and give them examples of Florence, Apache Junction, Quartzsite that we have. Because these small communities, you want to know how the world works, you look at the little bitty ones and you see it just extrapolated out. You know?
Will there be an overhead projector?
They have in the room, there is a big screen TV, probably, God, it's big. It's 60, 70 inches, and where everybody can see it. So, yeah, you could do a PowerPoint or something like that.
Yeah. I'll come prepared. Who would I talk to? Or who could?
Terry Major.
Okay. I'll see if I can.
Donna, send Terry and Patrick an email so they can include me on it so we can converse about what we're doing next Saturday.
Yeah. The Opportunity Zone map is interesting for sure. You ought to take a look at it. I sent you an email.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm showing the audience.
This is a story that I want to write this up myself. I can't find any more articles about it, but it needs to be written up in a way that makes, like connects the dots and stuff. But this map is just astounding when you look and see what's being done. How come California isn't more loaded up with this stuff? I can't figure that out.
They already are.
Yeah, I know. They already got
There's no opportunity when you already milk the shit out of everybody anyway.
I know, but you look at Arizona. Arizona's been riddled with this stuff, especially up in the conservative areas.
Yeah, and the Four Corners area too. What the hell's up with that?
I don't know.
I know what it is. Holy shit! It's the water.
Well, that's right.
You know, that's Karen Johnson. Remember, she was always going on the aquifers that are up in northeastern Arizona. The Fed, that's what they want. It's water. That's the water. Yeah. See, Arizona has 30, 40 years of surplus water. They don't want you to know that, but when you're a real estate agent or you're dealing with, I went to the Seasoned Towns presentation, the governor's office, blah, 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 blah. And all these guys, when California was running out of water and drought, then they were promoting it. Yeah, bring your farm here. We got water coming out our butt. Well, the reason was the Central Arizona project that Babbitt did when he was Secretary of Interior and doing all that stuff. They've been positively charging the aquifer for decades. They got 14 wells in Payson that puts water into the aquifer, not take it out. Yeah. I mean, so it's amazing, how much water we have, but they don't want you to know that, and they want to take it. This is a federal thing. So all this red that you see up there around Arizona, I guarantee that's aquifers. And that's the opportunities that they have.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Ask Karen Johnson. The ex-senator here. She that's one thing she made. Ernie, I tell you, up here in Springerville and Show Low and so, let me tell you exactly what's going on. And it's water. And how they're doing it is the federal government, there's a bunch of these grants like you're talking about, here on these opportunities for making money that you have to, get the sanction or the, it's like mandatory seatbelt law kind of crap. If you do this, then you get that. And a lot of it has to do with water. And with Cottonwood and Clarksdale up here, we met with their economic development guys, this template of the League of Cities and Towns, they always have that guy. So he's in there and he's going, we want to annex this group and this subdivision up there. On one side of the road, they voted to be annexed into the city, and the other guys said no. They go, nope. Well, we want that tax revenue. We need the money, and we're going to make them. How are you going to make them? He told me. He's proud. He goes, because we're going to get the EPA to condemn them because they have septic systems that go into the earth, and they're not allowed and has to go through our thing. We're going to use the EPA to get what we want because we can. And I'm going, wow. I bet you're popular, and bill or whatever. So I'm looking forward to this. I've been working on a bunch of other stuff, but this needs, we're going to give it for next Saturday and give some. I'm going to set up some sites and way on our pages and information and have like a packet of highlighted things so people can use that as to inform themselves and lobby or whatever the hell they want to do. But I'm going pirate, man. 2020, we're having some fun. We need to sit and talk. I already got a lot of stuff organized and. Are you going to be able to? Yeah, probably Saturday. I'm going to be able to do that, and then I got to go soccer games and get to watch grandkids. But we need to have a dinner. Would you be willing to do that? You and I just go have dinner this week sometime or something.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that. Donna, see if we can get a time where he and I, an afternoon would even be better. Wednesday afternoon or something like that. I'll drive out there. I'll drive out. I need an excuse to go visit with some stuff.
We can meet somewhere that's convenient.
We can do South Scottsdale because there's some place in Tempe I want to find out. We'll find a place and we'll do that. Don will hook it up because I want to go visit a headquarters of something I've been trying to get to. So we'll go ahead and do that and plan on us talking. We'll come up with a plan. But I've been working on this for the organization of the opposition for this incorporated into a bunch of stuff that we're doing. So, and I'll tell you all about the little secret, and we'll do that, and we'll have some fun. We'll probably announce it Saturday for what we're doing.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, Patrick. I'm glad you're on it, man, because this is going to be fun.
Oh, yeah, it will. We'll catch you later, okay? Right, thanks for the time.
Peace, brother. Bye.
Users or a warrant issued by the court. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
According to attendees of a karaoke night at Charlie's Bar and Grill, a man 30 seconds into singing Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror better get his act together and get it together fast.
From the get-go, coming in late on that first line, singing totally off-key. He needs to shape up and get his head in the game pronto.
Honestly, he needs to get serious right now or get the f*** off the stage. I mean, what does he think this is? Living on a prayer?
Claiming that this is turning into a train wreck, eyewitnesses say they are embarrassed for the man who has missed several key words despite staring at the prompter the entire time.
You know, he could hit every last note for the remainder of the song, and I still don't know if that would be enough to turn this thing around.
Man in the Mirror is the big leagues, so you better show up with your A game.
This is the Onion News Network.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Today, let us make them remember. We are not afraid!
Yep. Oh, we're on a field here on Declare Your Independence. I'm Ernest Hancock here in Phoenix, Arizona. From the BEA beautiful studios of Phoenix.com. Disappointed, aren't you? .com. There you go. All right. I don't want you to be disappointed. All right, so here we have David Zen in studio. He attended Project Arizona party. We have some pictures up. You might see Kamala is the Nepal girl that she's only 22, 24. She's in her early 20s, and she is a firebrand. Now, what happened, we interviewed her and some of the other interns that came in. We had 3 one time and 3 or 4 the next time. And Kamala's story is interesting. She's from Nepal. She's from a upper caste system. There's a 3-class system there. You have the lower whatever, and the second whatever, and the third whatever, because I have no idea why. They base it on something. So you have this in a lot of societies. It was, I don't know, these are the ones that are the butchers, they're the unclean, or they're considered something. Then there's the merchants, and then there's the royalty, or there's the families of, and kind of the level, I don't care. So what she was observing this is there was an old woman that she had met that had been sold by her father to pay off a gambling debt. And that just pissed her off. And she was an older woman, but she gave an example of how the caste system works there and how people, and certainly women, and God forbid you be the lower caste and a woman. So she's just like, this sucks. She did a movie. She goes to college, starts doing some filmmaking. She goes, I know what I want to do. I want to do this. So she went and made this movie. It became a big deal, big hit, all kinds of social change, conversation, whatever, in Nepal. Now, Nepal, the Himalayas, Mount Everest, Sherpas, doing that kind of thing. Now, they have, I think Kathmandu is Nepal. So she's in a larger area there. She's going to university. I go, they have a university? Yep, I guess so. So she does this, then gets Project Arizona acceptance in her application to come to America. And it was just learned about. She's been interning over at Mark J. Victor's law firm. Well, all of a sudden, she goes out and does some, shooting at the range, because it's Arizona, and shooting at the range because it's Arizona. And then she's popular back there, and I guess she's got a social following, social media and so on. And all of a sudden, the government said, hell no. You take that down. She goes, screw you, man. I'm doing something legal in the legal country of legal, and over here. Yeah, but you're our slave, and you have to, what we say, and you have to. Well, she didn't. So they go 2 years. Come back. We got a arrest warrant for 2 years. She won't come back 2 years. Well, she's like, screw you. I'm going to come back. I'm like, really? Really? Well, the gentleman, David Zen, is trying to help her. And, he grew up mostly in the rural South, which means guns. That's the way it is. And served 8 years in the Marine Corps, stationed in California, but deployed quite a bit, including one tour in Iraq. Yay. Got a degree, but shouldn't have. Private investigator for 10 years. Bounty hunter in Los Angeles for a while. The boy knows something about guns. So he was doing some training with him and so on. And so he knows the story. Add to fill in the blanks of wherever I messed up there. David, go ahead.
Well, you have it pretty much complete, except you may have been misled a little bit about how much I've really helped or am able to help.
Well, I know we're helping by talking about it right now.
True. I like to help out the Project
Arizona
crew.
Pull the mic up closer to you.
I like to help out the Project Arizona crew when I can anyway. I can't do a lot. I take them shooting, teach them about guns.
One less thing I got to do. The thing that every year they always come here and so on, and I'm sitting there going, okay, and there goes $200 in ammo. I'm just like, oh, you take it? Absolutely, sure. I started going, hey, man, you guys had every time you go bang, that's like 50 cents. I mean, like, bang, 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 go, whoa.
Well,
then they take the pictures.
I mostly stick to 22 and 9mm, the cheap stuff.
There you go. Well, what I did is I wanted them to have and you probably did similar, an experience with everything. I had, a couple of revolvers. Then we did semi-automatic handguns. You got to have the 12-gauge shotgun. You do the 22s. You do the rifles, and then the battle rifles like AKs and ARs. By the time you get through all that, they've done everything they get it. Usually, a lot of times people, they'll go, 22. But when they're really nervous, I've tried this before. I know you'll yell at me, but I go, you know what? Let's just skip to the end. I have not put it on shoulder, but hold it at their hip, and I'll stand there with them and have them fire a 12-gauge. And it goes boom, and I go, that's the top. Everything else is downhill from there. We do a 22, and it goes pink, and I go, that's the range. And they're like, okay.
I can live with that. Yeah.
When they get to the they put the 12-gauge up their shoulder, that'd be a whole nother thing. But, they get to the ARs. Women love ARs.
They think it's going to be a big power. They in their mind, they've never fired one. They think it's going to be more like that 12-gauge.
Right.
They think it's going to hurt because it's loud and it's scary and it's military looking, and then it's like basically a 22.
Gun. Yeah.
Because of that buffer, of course.
Yeah, because of the spring and so on. But 22. It's a 22 round. It's just going really fast and it's big and a lot of whatever. So this is what happens. They can project their will a few hundred yards downrange or something, and they're going. This, all of a sudden, their sphere of protection in their mind, it's a change in their, especially when they're from a totalitarian, authoritarian existence, and they see that that guy's not going to hurt me anymore, or just that mindset totally jacks them up. Especially women with ARs, they're like looking for some sexual relations. They're going, ooh, I'm feeling powerful. Woo, let's go to the club or something.
It's a hell of a drug when you haven't really felt that power before.
And I've seen it over and over, and I've been doing this for decades. And they know when they bring these guys, if they don't find you, they find somebody, and they're going to go shooting. That's one of the big things. Now, the guys from Poland in the early years, they did this, and I'm going, are you sure you want to put that on your Facebook? You might not make it back. And I wasn't kidding. Nah, it doesn't matter, screw them, kind of. Well, some countries, they don't like it none too much. And one of them, like the guy from Venezuela, he's looking for asylum here. He goes back, they're wanting to get him. Well, for all his, freedom stuff. And he's a nice, smart kid. And then you have Kamala, and she's what, 4 foot nothing? I mean, just a small girl. And what is her thing? That picture that she put up, was that the controversy?
Pretty much. With that and some statements regarding it, and really nothing that should be a problem. I mean, she didn't even, as far as I'm aware, maybe somebody else said something about going back and using the guns to take over the government. I know there was some talk about that at the range. I don't know if anybody said that on the social media.
No.
It was tongue-in-cheek, of course, but they may have seen something like that and taken it to heart.
Well, the thing is that's exactly what they're thinking. Oh, my God, if we had a bunch of Nepalese knowing how to use an AR, see a little girl doing it, and they're not afraid of it, or she showed no fear in this feminist empowerment of all these men, and we just shoot them, kind of when they're like, damn it, I hate when they do that. They went and got freedom in their head, and we were in control last week, and now we're not.
Now we'll have to give them the vote.
Right. Do they don't get the vote in Nepal?
I'm not sure. I'm just referring back to the old misogynistic. We gave them the vote and everything fell apart.
Well, don't laugh, man. I don't know if they even get the vote in Nepal, and if they, their influence is lower, I'm sure. Well, and then this caste thing, which is what she's known for. Why when she did that movie, that's what happened. So so what kind of help does she need? When I talked to her, it's she was like, screw them, I'm going back, because she thinks she has an important enough family and they're not going to throw away the key or something. I'm going, well, you'll probably be fertile by the time you get out. I go, you got to think about you still want to be old enough, young enough to have children. I mean, how long are they going to put you? What do you think? It's 2 years for you refusing their whatever, and then what? Is it more? Think about it. Should she stay here? I don't know. Let's talk about more with David Zinn. We'll be right back. From the sixth letter of Captain Mark. A pirate's life is characterized by voluntary interactions. Unfortunately, the Crown presses everyone into involuntary servitude.
Landlubbers believe slavery was abolished years ago, but the Crown still claims to own us when it crimps us into service against our will. Given sufficient ambition, it would gladly draft thousands of hapless victims to kill or be killed. It's simply slavery by another name. Landlubbers are routinely commanded to serve the so-called justice system in jury duty. But before you swell with civic pride, consider that how you feel is irrelevant to the Crown. You will appear as ordered or face punitive measures. The Crown insists that you participate in your own oppression. A jury summons provides pirates with a unique opportunity to obstruct injustices. A juror can vote not guilty, even if it's proven the law was violated. A juror can acquit for any reason at all, and not even a judge can reverse that verdict. Receiving a jury summons is basically winning the sedition lottery. But if you reveal that you know this during jury selection, you'll probably be dismissed. If the Crown foolishly crimps a pirate into jury duty, it behooves the pirate to conceal their intention to nullify unjust laws. If a master takes 100% of your labor, it's called slavery. But if they only take 50%, they call it taxation, a difference of degree, not of kind. Whether the Crown claims a fortune or a cent is irrelevant. Most of all, a slave owner desires contented slaves, meaning thoughtless ones that accept their bondage. These house slaves see no contradiction in being drafted in a war to end slavery or summoned to a jury to prosecute tax evasion. An ideal slave knows no higher call than the master's will. The Crown's highest ambition is that its slaves revere the authority that subjugates them. But the Crown does not own me. I will not surrender my time and treasure to the Crown's ambitions. Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm. Free Talk Live.
I have a license. That means you're protected. That's nonsense. Just because somebody has a license doesn't mean anything about their business acumen. It doesn't mean anything about their ability to satisfy their customers.
It essentially means that they paid the state money.
And
that's
jumped through
it.
the hoops. Yep.
And filled out some paperwork.
Exactly. And that's all that the license means. But yet it has this aura of legitimacy to it. Oh, it's a license. And they paid some money to the state, and so therefore they must be a good company. It's absurd.
And absolutely. And what it does is it depletes the pool of people out there that would be doing business in that particular way. You know, they just can't get up the money to get the license. They can't get up the money to get the fancy vans and all that other stuff that's involved in being a contractor or whatever. I'm thinking of plumbers right now, I guess. And different plumbing jobs require different levels of skill. When you're talking about just a regular thing, why can't you have a handyman guy come in and do it? Why does he have to be licensed?
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
To be a part of the show, call 602-264-2800. 602-264-2800. And now, Ernest Hancock.
One thing that, David's like, I don't want to be on, and you kind of show what I look. There he is right there. There he is. You guys, put the coffee cup in front of your face. Well, see, that's one thing. That's the reason why, the bad guys, they want to have the camera at my front door and everybody coming in and facial recognition of the party of we need and who all these damn people and Ernie and whatever. And I'm going, I think I'll decline. It's bad. So this next Saturday at the Arizona Breakfast Club, if you guys are here in the Valley, man, you want to go hear Patrick Wood and I do that one because we're going to cover it. And there's I've been doing a little bit of prep. I did last October just to determine who was what, and I know the names and the people and the mechanism of, all right, here we go. So we're going to go breakfast and say, hello, this is what's happening. Well, you want to see how bad it can get. It's what happens to these kids that come from around the world. Nepal, Venezuela, Ukraine, Russia, Poland, Mexico City. It's amazing the stories that they have and how they're the outcast in their community or group of we're for freedom, and then they come to America, and then, God forbid, Arizona, and they're going, holy crap. And they realize the different mindset that they have. And that mindset is what's the threat. They don't like that none too much. So David Zen, took him out and shoot him. But let's talk about David a little bit. You got Venator Services, Venator, Venator.services. So www.venator.services, which is Latin for hunter. So I guess you like a hunting thing. Okay, wait. How do you say it? Venator?
Venator.
That sounds better. Okay.
It does sound better. It's not so much hunter in the predatory sense,
Venator!
But seeker or searcher is more like it.
For something to kill!
Well, I was a bounty hunter, but that's, at least for now, in the past.
Well, was that a good gig, or
I loved it. There's nothing like it. But there's not so much crime here in Arizona. It's tough to break back into it.
Oh, you don't have enough ne'er-do-wells to go after?
Haven't found a client yet. Let's put it that way.
All right.
Interesting. If you're interested, I have as an anarchist, I am actually arresting people and putting them back in jail, and it's not as incompatible as it may seem.
Well, if they violated someone's property or kind of, there's like bad guys. Really being a bounty hunter. It's like doing a letter of marque against, bad guy of bounty of we don't need to send in the army to Iraq.
True.
Here's $10 million bounty on go get Osama bin Forgotten. Problem solved.
If there were a private team to have done that with the right resources, I definitely would have joined.
Yeah, they got them. It's called mercenary black op bag of when they really want to. They just go do it. But that's not what they want. They don't want to fix it. They want to have a big war and make a bunch of money. So this concept of bounty hunting, I don't have a problem with that. Especially when it's a private entity that's out the money. I mean, that's,
right.
That's not unlibertarian. Now, what you're bounty hunting for and, and the reason or giving up to the man, that might be, stupid.
But there's the rub. Whatever they got arrested for in the first place that put him in jail that they got bailed out from, that's irrelevant. They voluntarily signed a contract with my client, the bondsman.
Right.
That's what they violated.
Right.
And in that contract, it says if you miss your court date, if you don't make your payments, if you don't check in, whatever, you will be turned over back to the sheriff.
And that's the incentive for this bounty thing and so on anyway, is that I think they'd like you to get a bond to get out of jail because they know the financial incentive is on the person that bonded you out.
Right.
They're the ones going to get you. We don't have to, but we got like laws and stuff we got to deal with. With bounty hunters, a little bit of gray area. It shows up at the police station. We don't worry about how you got there.
Pretty much. Well, I can't speak to the specifics of how it's done in Arizona because I haven't done it here yet. In L.A., we can do a lot of things that cops can't.
Of course.
There's no such thing as a warrant for a bounty hunter. A lot of it comes down to probable cause. Did I have reasonable suspicion the guy was in that house? I can kick the door in.
Legally?
Legally. Now, practically speaking, I better damn well know he's in there because I don't want to try to defend whether or not my suspicion was reasonable when he gets to court. If the homeowner sues me and he wasn't in there,
it's reasonable. I saw him walk in there 5 minutes ago. I mean,
exactly, and that's how I always played it. I never did it just because I had a reasonable suspicion. I knew he was in there.
But no, one thing I always think it's just so stupid, cops to do this, is the guy's got to go to the store, go to the bathroom, go to something sometimes, especially if he doesn't know he's being surveilled. And they always want to bust in 3 o'clock in the morning, kill the dog, grenade the kid, do all that kind of crap. All I got to do is wait for him to go to the gas station.
There's also not really any such thing as a no-knock for a bounty hunter. I got to try to get them to open the door first. If they won't, and I know he's in there, then I can come in.
Well, I mean, don't you like just, get him on the sidewalk walking his dog? I mean, have you
Usually.
I mean, you don't always have to go into their domicile with their weapons and their resistance.
Very rarely. I think in the 3 years I was doing it, I probably kicked in 2 doors.
And how many bounties did you do?
I never counted. Somewhere over 100.
So enough. So a small percentage you're having to force your way in. Well, I would think if I had to be a bounty hunter, I could be creative, and make it to where there's like a lot of tech, a lot of opportunity. I mean, so when you go and track someone down, is it very difficult or rarely difficult? What are tools you got available?
It's usually not that difficult because, well, first of all, a lot of them are at mom's house.
Yeah.
That's always the second stop. First stop is where they live. Second stop is mom's house. After that, typically, with people who've had to call a bondsman, they didn't have even the 10% that the bondsman needs. So they have co-signers. So somebody puts up their house as collateral. Somebody puts up a car as collateral. Somebody else just signs on their own credit. These are people that.
So you got your uncle go get him. He's over there.
Exactly. I've had people's mothers call me and tell me exactly where they were, because grandmother was going to lose her house if the guy didn't come back.
Scumbag. He goes, I was getting high.
Yeah. How bad do you have to be? Your grandmother puts up her house and you're going to run.
I had to get high first.
And bondsmen will take houses.
Of course they will, because they can. I mean, you signed. You did. Yeah. All right. So this is, how did you get hooked up with the Project Arizona guys?
I believe, let's see, a friend, Mike Basic, friend of his, James.
Stepwise, crypto guy,
right.
Coding, programming, whatever.
Exactly. Friend of his was doing a St. Patty's Day party. The Project Arizona crew was there, and that's how I met them.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad you came to the party. How'd you even know about the party we had?
I believe Yatsek told me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it was a nice party. These guys, they got their due. We had, it was a good conversation. It was nice weather, and I don't know how you can be in these other regimes and feel this oppressive, wool wet blanket and summer over you feeling of ew.
Like when I go back to California.
Right. And then come back and come here to Arizona with this attitude and people and help and encouragement. Why the hell would you want to go back? Well, we're going to find out from Kamala here pretty soon.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you're helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Hey, I'm LRN.FM Program Director Ian Freeman. If you're listening to our free-to-air satellite feed in North or Central America, heads up. We've been on the Galaxy 19 satellite since 2010, but now our satellite provider is moving LRN.FM to a new channel on a different transponder. The current channel will stay on the air until the end of May to give you time to transition without any loss of service, so don't delay. I've posted the new channel details at sat.lrn.fm, but in case you're listening with no internet access, if you do a blind scan on your receiver, you should see the new channel at transponder 6, 11.8425 gigahertz, horizontal polarization, symbol rate 22,000, FEC 3/4. All that information is at sat.lrn.fm, as well as a link to our Patreon, where you can support our channels for just $2 a month. Visit sat.lrn.fm for more information about our international satellite channels, and thanks for listening to LRN.FM.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
Like a gent. Said my get up and go, must have got up and went. Well, I got good news, she's a real good liar. Cause I'm backstage and focus.
Welcome back to the club, Independent. Woo! Little Aerosmith never hurt nobody. Maybe grandma's ears. What we want to make sure that we get to visit with David Zinn, a new friend. He was at the party and hanging out, and all the guys had good things to say, and he's helped us and got us in trouble with our government and want to put us in jail, so it's his fault. You take any blame?
Well, for the record, the gun in the photo at issue here is not mine.
Aha!
Can't put that one on me.
Yeah, but you were there. You were teaching them. See, that's one thing. Conspiring to teach. I've seen that.
I was instigating.
A friend of mine did 5.5 years in Taft for conspiring to teach. As part of the Viper militia thing. They wanted to get him for conspiracy, but the terrorist bill, whatever the hell it was in the late 90s, they arrested him on the day that it was signed into law, but it doesn't take effect for like another month or 3 months or something when they do that. So they screwed up. If they'd waited, they would have been able to try to get him 20 years. So they go, well, damn it, we don't have a law with conspiring to teach how to make ammo bombs in buckets out in the desert they were blowing up and having fun with.
Something, really? First Amendment.
It's something they don't care, okay? So this is why, I'm concerned with Kamala. I'm going, I don't know, man. You sure you want to play this game? That it's going to, you're going to, I guarantee they're going to have you in for months or doing something. At least making you, and her family is freaked.
Well, she's safe at least for now. I know she's staying around Phoenix. She's got some kind of a position here, and
yeah, well, she's interning with Mark over there. Mark J. Victor, attorney for freedom.com. Okay. But they may get a job. And that was one of the Jorge from Venezuela, and he's looking to make money. He needs a job. I go, yeah, can he work in the heat? I go, he's a young man. Yeah, I got some ditch digging need to be done. Get your butt out. I got a job for you.
You got to start at the bottom like anybody
else.
else.
They're like, but I'm from a wealthy family. I go, yeah? Well, then get your ass back to Venezuela and see what happens. Tell them, there's a lot of people coming from Venezuela love to do some ditch digging. So let me know how that works out. So we're trying to see what we can do to help them. But it's, they just, but I wear a tie and I'm pretty. And well, your hands ain't gonna be pretty no more. So this is.
Well, they're academics.
Yeah, that's how they. Well, I want to, like, post on Facebook or something. I mean, nope. You want to get some money? You want to get a job? And they always go, we need an anarchist job, which means cash and not bad. And I'm going, yeah. Well, let me tell you what anarchist jobs do. They work.
They work hard.
Heat. It's hot. You been here in the summer yet?
I've been here. This will be my 5th summer.
You spit in the Grand Canyon. You tube the Salt River. You go to a couple of summers here, and you're a freaking native. That's how it works. Because, man, I mean,
I feel like a native. Well,
yeah.
you do get used to it. It never stops sucking, but you get used to how bad it sucks.
I've been around the country. I purposely paid attention when I would travel around different parts of the country. The biggest thing that you notice, 2 things. One, the worst summer I ever had was 2 weeks in Iowa and Des Moines. It sucked, but it was so humid you couldn't, even in air conditioning, you couldn't get away from it. It was like, get me into Arizona to dry. You jump in the pool, you get out and you're cold because it evaporates so fast. The only time it's kind of muggy and hot is the monsoon in August. And other than that, it's awesome. Even in the super 120 degree of, oh my God, you need a big hat and shade or something. But it's not that bad except from 10 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. That's the anvil of, man, you better be under shade or something.
Well, after then, there's a little bit of shade anywhere, and up to about 110 is fine. Over 110 is a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, it gets. I don't even know it's hot until it's 107. It was 100 degrees a couple of days ago, and I didn't even know it. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
It doesn't feel that hot. I grew up, as I mentioned.
We sleep with the windows open now, and it's what? What is it today? Donna, what's it going to be today? Check your phone. Give me a temperature thing. You're always
I think
the
they
weather
said
girl.
upper 90s today.
Well, upper. Well, how much upper? Yeah, it takes that long. Your phone sucks. 100. Today it's going to be 100. 100. And that don't mean nothing. What's 100 to us here? It's like 79 anywhere else. I mean,
100 if you're not working in it, it's nothing.
Nothing. It doesn't even. You don't even notice it till 105. But I tell you what does happen. The sun is so intense, especially that's why everybody has a white car here. You got a black car or you got any metal, or you have to go out with gloves all the time because especially if you're working outside, you can't touch anything. It's radiation hot. It's like the Mexican server comes with your plate and say, caution, the plate's hot. So you kind of tap it as you're moving it. And I did one time a Mexican restaurant between Casa Grande and Tucson. I pulled off, got a meal, and of course they always say, careful, the plate's hot. So I went like this just to turn it. It burned my hands. Just touch it. I'm going, holy crap! It just came out of the freaking fire. I mean, which is fine. She warned me.
Well, keep the food hot longer, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's how they do it, man. Whatever. Welcome to Arizona. It's all about the heat and loving it. Donna. She is a big, giant summer fan in Arizona. She's from Pennsylvania. She's like, summer. It can't be hot enough. She don't even get in the pool until it's 86.
I'm not a big fan of the summer, but it's.
The water's 86.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. What do most people do? They go from their air-conditioned house to their air-conditioned car and then to their air-conditioned workplace, and they might stop off at an air-conditioned restaurant or bar on the way home.
And it's even better now. My kids, they got man, don't you remember uphill both ways in the snow, whatever. Their thing is now they have baby carriers that just click in as baby seats. I mean, you unclick, you carry it in, click, you put it in. Us, it's like, it's like the spaghetti thing you had to do, whatever. And some of the older kids, you do that. But the babies, they hit a button and their car automatically starts. It runs for a few minutes and it has... runs for a few minutes, air conditioning, it's cool. They come out of the air-conditioned house. They walk 30 feet in 100 billion degree, whatever, but they're already cool. They don't even really warm up. You get in your air-conditioned car. I know what you're talking about. And we were like 9.5 years in evaporative cooling that kind of worked.
Wait a minute. This show is nationwide.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's terrible. It's 120 degrees every day. There are snakes and scorpions everywhere. Everybody carries a fully automatic machine gun. And there's blood in the streets, Wild West shootouts everywhere. Stay home. You will hate it here.
You communist.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's one thing. It has changed here in Arizona. A bunch of Californication by guys like you coming over here.
Not guys like me.
Yeah, but I mean, so then what was it that prompted you to leave California?
Finally being able to.
So that was it. Was I remember from Long Kiss Goodnight with Gina Davis and Samuel Jackson. She goes, they're trying to get out of New Jersey and driving. She goes, I think I got out of Beirut before. I think I can get out of New Jersey. He goes, maybe not. Millions have tried and failed.
Well, the problem is California is so tough. If you don't already have some kind of good position, it's hard to get ahead. And every time I thought I had enough money saved to make the move, something would happen. My car would break down. My car would get impounded, or
the man got you for something.
It was always something. I actually, to finally get out, I started a GoFundMe or one of the other ones, and a bunch of friends donated money to let me finally make the move.
David, get the F out of California. We don't want you anyway.
That's exactly what it was.
All right.
And I'm doing much better now, but it was rough.
I can imagine. Well, you're not real old. You're not super young. You're what, 30s, 40s, what?
41.
41. So you're still young. I know. I look at people stop calling me kid after I hit 42 or something. And
I still get carded for alcohol.
Hell, they do that just for entertainment, But these guys, they want to know where you live. You're kind of cute. I want to, what's up? What's your address? I know that's one thing they're carding. Women come in. I got this guy wanting. I'm like, yeah, you don't need to see my. Never mind. Of course, Donna likes getting cards. She tells me every time. All right, we'll be right back with David Zinn. We'll talk about some firearm stuff and licensing laws and what's going on in the legislature and just, freedom-oriented stuff here in Arizona when we come back in just a little bit.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, hey.
Who do you think you are?
Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait a minute.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me? Because you're scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Back. You know, I got up on the screen, those watching the stream, Venator Services, which is www.venator, VENATOR.services. Venator Services is David Zen, and he's a private investigation, and we got you taken care of, and we're going to do. So pimp your what you're doing here a little bit, and we'll have in the show notes, in the archive. Donna's putting up your contact information, phone number, and email, all that stuff. But tell me what you guys do, what you offer, and do a commercial for me.
Well, I don't have much of an elevator speech because I've never really needed it, but I've been in the business for about 10 years. I've done a little bit of everything, and what I don't know how to do very well, I have friends that do. So we can cover anything, pretty much anywhere in the world.
Okay, I got what you offer here, and wait a minute. Fee schedule. Oh my God, you put prices up here?
Yep.
Thank you. God, nobody ever does that. All right, simple, straightforward.
I've been advised to take them down, but
screw them, man. I can advise based on what? Because what? I have no idea. All right, first investigator, $80. Additional hourly, $60. 4-hour minimum, first hour travel waived with, minimum 8-hour surveillance, additional fees, so much per mile, this, that, so on. I like this. There's a surgical center in Oklahoma City? I don't know, Oklahoma. In Oklahoma that they have the fees set. You get your gallbladder, or get a shoulder this, a knee replacement. This is how much the anesthesiologist is. This is how much the clinical outpatient of the blah 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 blah. Boom. Click, credit card done.
Because if you're paying yourself, that's what you want to know.
You damn Skippy.
Well,
and this is you're paying yourself. Well, see, that's why they say you don't want that up there, because the attorney fees, they just send it on and on and on. And
some attorneys do upcharge quite a bit.
Right, they sure as hell don't want this. That's one of the reasons why they don't want this up there, to know when that comes on the attorney bill, it's $200 an hour and you charge $80.
Right.
And I'm going, yeah, that's what I thought, and that's how they work. But a lot of times, especially in the liberty-minded community, you might just need a private investigator. In fact, we did. We had a gentleman. Oh God, I'm losing it. He had the son that won the karate thing and the world champion in Ireland. I'm sorry, what? Scott Decker. Scott Decker, a PI that, from back in, the late 90s we worked with. He moved from Utah, did kind of the same thing, and he's off and going, man. He's, we kind of help promote in the community, and he's going, so this wouldn't hurt. This wouldn't hurt. So we have something, because now he's expensive. Right. But, he'd help a brother out. Well, this is, if you're in the community, sometimes you need, there's bad guys out there. You don't need to go to the man. Why do I need to go to the man? I got the man right here. He can go get some for you, find some information. Matter of fact, as we do this smart city thing, Patrick and I and so on, might be worth a few $100 here or there to kind of something. Just in case we need to know something.
You never know. I'll work. I have literally worked 80 hours in 4 days. I'm pretty much available all the time. Occasionally I sleep. But.
Yeah. One of the things, there's Keith McAnarchist, one of the guests on the show and a good friend, has all the script skip tracing abilities because he did that for whatever the hell he was doing. And he has all these sites and stuff you go through. And what I learned from that, I went on Jim Sharp's show, and he's another good friend of mine, talk show host over on, I think, KTAR now, the morning show. And I went on his evening show one time. He was at KFYI. And I go, I don't think you guys understand how much information you can get. And what it was is they came after me because I was going to publish as a county chair all the voter database. And it was, to let people know that they're taking all this information. I don't think you understand what they're doing. They're selling it. And, blah, 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 blah. So when I threatened to do that, they freaked out that everybody knew. That's what they were freaked out about. So I go on his show, and he had a state legislator on. And he was like, we need it to be able to communicate with our constituents. It's okay for us to screw you and sell it or whatever, but you can't. See, these guys are hypocritical sons of bitches. So as we were doing this, I go, this is the service you can use. You can go to Maricopa Record whatever the hell. You put in any name. You can put in address. You can find all this information about people. As I was doing that, the board op in there, some young guy during the break, he goes, wow. I had no idea I was the beneficiary of the trust of whatever my grandparents. I gotta go be nicer to them.
There's a lot more out there than people realize, and not all PIs are as ethical as they should be. Sometimes, there have been cases where stalkers have hired PIs and they didn't do their due diligence, and they've used the PI to find the person they were stalking, things like that. One thing some people may not know is out there is license plate recognition. There are scanners everywhere. The insurance companies and the finance companies, they've got cars just driving around all the time with license plate readers, and they track every license plate they see and where it was seen and when.
For what reason?
Basically for repos.
So they're just accumulating information amongst them to go find somebody.
If they got to take the car back, they can get it. But of course, I have access to that, and if I have it, you can guarantee the government has it.
So there's like a pool of this information to have access as a private investigator gun. Yeah, we're being watched anyway.
Yeah, for the same thing. If I need to find somebody.
Yeah, but government wouldn't tap into that. That'd be
course
wrong.
not. Of course not.
That'd be wrong.
Well, they have their own. I mean, you see the parking enforcement in a lot of places has license plate scanners. Some cop cars have them on there. You guarantee they're tracking that and storing it.
We need
always back in.
Services on our side.
Always back in. If you're in a state like Arizona with no front plates, always put your back plate up against a window. Up against a wall.
Oh, when you park or you back in. Yeah, I always back in. Okay, this is why I back in the parking spaces. When I drive, because I have a bunch of kids, and so when I drive by a parking space, I see it's open. I can see it. Then I back into it. And then when I leave, I'm not backing over some kid. I'm going forward. I can see. So for me, it was a safety thing. Plus, it's easier to get out.
It is safer. I do it just for convenience. I'd rather take the time when I get there and be able to leave quick.
Same way. Like Donna, she always pulls in to our garage with her car, head in, and I'm like, why? Because it's such a pain. We got a little backup camera thing, finally. So you back up in there, I know it, and boom, and then I can just go out and not have to worry about kids or tricycles, or I can see. That's why I do it. Now, of course, the man don't like it because they go through the parking lots and they got these license readers. They did this with some friends of ours, and he's like, no, hell no. He made a big stinking deal to the employer because the government came in to the employer and said, we got to go through your parking lot and check and registration out of state, and they didn't, we give you your money. And he goes, okay, I get, it's the government. Well, he goes, hell no, what the hell are you doing? What the first thing they do is they go through and they look all license plate, who needs to get arrested, who's needs to be sent a letter, needs a ticket, they got an out-of-state registration, and you're working here, and you're not doing, we need money. It's just a money thing.
It's always about money.
And it's just, well, that's what this smart city thing is about. Let me show you how many ways you can make money. Fees and penalties. Fees and penalties.
Well, you saw they just... it was a state Supreme Court, I'm not sure. Somewhere it was just declared unconstitutional to mark people's tires with chalk.
What?
Yeah, parking enforcement, they'll mark your tire, and then they come back around 2 hours later if the chalk is still there.
What was the justification for making that illegal? Not that I'm a fan.
It's a search.
Who challenged that one?
I'm not sure. I didn't read too much into the details, but I love it. But now all they're going to do is just use the license plate reader data and tag that to GPS and track that by by time and just drive back down the same street. They'll do exactly the same thing. It'll cost us more for them to do it.
Okay, whenever I come up with a neat idea or something I want to keep, I got this 3x5 card box folder, recipe box kind of thing, and I mark a little triangle up there, and I put, and Donna knows not to throw it away. It goes in that thing. Here's my new bumper sticker. You know, I don't know how I'm going to use it, but whatever. Fees, and penalties. Oh, that's a good phrase. I like that. I just made that up. All right. Copyright, trademarked, Ernie said, and IP, intellectual, you're not allowed to say that because it'd be illegal. Right.
There's a whole school of thought on intellectual property, but
well, how is it that you got tapped by Project Arizona to go teach them to shoot? How'd you even know these guys?
Oh, in that St. Patty's Day party.
Oh, okay, that's right. So because you know Michael. Well, this has been, I'm glad that they had someone like you, and you got to be exposed to us, and the roundabout we got to hang and talk and get to know that. Now we have another private investigator, that's looking for work. I'm always looking for work.
And for a good cause, I might reduce the rates a little bit.
See, there you go. Someone in the cause.
No promises.
Yeah, no promises. And it's Venator, VENATOR.services. So it's always nice to, have a PI guy, and there's your fees right there. It's got a few $100, man, go take care of business. And a lot of this stuff can be done just by having access to a lot of the stuff that he's talking about. It's like, look, man, if you got these lists, if you got access to a lot of these surveillance pools of data we can find, and 20 years ago, I was shocked at what you could do on the internet. Imagine what it is now.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve